This is Terror House Radio with Matt Forney and Bryden Proctor.
Yeah, welcome to a Terror House Radio episode number 16. I am Matt Forney, your charming and loquacious host, and the founder and editor-in-chief of Terror House Press. Joining me is my co-host and producer, the housebound, cabin fever-afflicted individual known as Bryden Proctor. How you doing, Bryden?
I'm okay. I mean, I don't know, it's not that fucking bad, I guess. I mean, I want to fucking kill myself, but, that's for completely different reasons.
Well, you want to kill yourself,
all the time.
Yeah, so, that's not news.
Give me some news. I mean, well, there's not news. I'm just, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of drinking even. It's just what's the fucking point? I don't know why. I mean, I think it's just because I have everything to drink here, but it's I can't think of anything good to drink. So, I'm just kind of tired of all the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm prepared for all this shit to end. And actually, it is going to start ending on Monday here in Albania. The lockdown is going to be partially lifted. Most businesses are going to be allowed to reopen. The low risk ones, which basically means every business except for hairdressers, gyms, bars, nightclubs, restaurants. Right. So that's a good thing. It means I'll be able to go and get vape juice for the first time in weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But today on this show, we're going to be talking to Benjamin Welton. Benjamin is a writer who has published with Terror House several times before. And Terror House is bringing out his first book. First book of short stories, poetry collection. SICK Inside the Citadel. That is coming out on Friday, April 24th. It's mainly horror themed. It includes some works that have been published at Terror House. Yeah, horror.
Horror?
Like
whores?
No, horror, as in murder.
Nah.
And
No. That still fits.
Well, there's also there is a horror in about, I think, the middle of it. So
there you go.
It's a very excellent book, and as I said, some of the stories have been published at Terror House before. But most of them are stuff that you probably have not seen, either because it was published somewhere else or because it's totally new. It's a really great book, fantastic stuff. I know Bryden is excited about talking to Benjamin because you actually blurbed the book, Bryden.
Yeah, he's actually one of the few guys who writes stuff that's, not fucking, not to bash anybody at Terror House, but pompous fucking artistry. Oh, I fucking writers. I hate writers. They're see, writers are just fucking actors who are ugly.
There is some truth to that,
Yeah, because you gotta think about it, they're all fucking liars, right? So it's they're just actors that are ugly.
They're liars?
Yeah, every fucking writer's a goddamn liar.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh come on, you believe shit that people fucking write, and they're like, oh, and then I fucking, this is what happened. That's not what happened.
I believe it sometimes.
No, they're all full of shit.
Well, it's funny. I once dated a writer who said that all writers were writers, and they made for bad boyfriends and girlfriends. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
They're just bad people. They're just fucking bad people. All creative people are just pieces of fucking shit. Besides Post Malone, Besides Post Malone, they're all just pieces of shit.
That's random.
No, Post Malone's a really cool guy. He looks like he smells bad though.
I'm not familiar with Post Malone. All I know is that he's from the same city I am.
Well, I don't know. He's a cool guy, and he open carries in Walmart and always takes pictures with people. And he's got a truck with a big ass gun on it, and apparently he's just a real nice dude. But he just looks like he smells terrible.
He does sound pretty badass, and the smelling stuff, I can buy that since we're from the same place. But But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna be having Benjamin Welton on in a bit. I don't know. I mean, with lockdown. Actually, I wanted to, since this is, I guess, somewhat culture related. I think I mentioned this to you last night, Brian. I've been playing this game called Drug Dealer Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's exactly as bad as it sounds, everyone. Um, you play as a low-level drug dealer who is working with the cartel. It's not specified what ethnicity they are, but like your handler is a black dude who is comically racist, and actually,
Black people can't
let
be
me clarify
racist.
that. Let me clarify this. He's comically racist. This game was developed by Poles, so it's comically racist in the way that Poles think black people are like.
Yeah, they've never met a black guy before.
Yeah, their Poland is, I think, like 98% white. Um,
Is it based in America?
and it's supposed to take. It's clearly supposed to take place in America because like all the the voice actors are American and such, and it looks the city it takes place in looks like Compton.
Hmm.
But there's like all these hilarious incongruities everywhere. Like all the signs are like all the street signs are like European style street signs. And for some reason, like there's graffiti all over the place, but the word kurwa is graffitied everywhere. Kurwa is Polish for cunt. Uh, but it's a really fun game. Basically, uh, you you buy drugs you buy drugs from the cartel, and then you go and sell them to people. You avoid the police. And they've got some really fortuitous timing here because part of the game is that there's a curfew at night, and if you're caught going around during the curfew, you'll get arrested.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, so I had to question some of the mechanics because I actually rage quit last night because I was running around spray painting by logo on the sides of walls in one neighborhood to increase my rep. And I step out from the wall, and a couple of cops are walking up. They don't see me spray painting, but they want to search me anyway. I walk away because I'm carrying like 10 grams of speed, and they're like, "Fuck you! We're gonna arrest you, motherfucker!" I don't hit the sprint key fast enough, and like they catch up to me and tase my ass.
Uh-oh.
And then I just wake up like the screen fades to black, and then you wake up again, and like my backpack is gone and all my shit. Like, did they just take my shit and release me? Like, when it would seem like if I'm carrying like that many drugs, I should be going to prison. That should be a game over moment.
Do you think cops don't do that?
What?
Well, I mean, just like, oh, yeah, I would just take all that shit and just leave them there.
I don't know. It just seemed like they would like arrest someone.
It's you would hope so, but this isn't live PD, dude.
Maybe maybe it's because I'm such it's the early part of the game. Maybe they do arrest you later on once you become a big time drug dealer. I don't know.
I mean, I just don't think it's that far fetched that police would just beat you up and take your drugs and then just leave you there.
That's a good point. But yeah, this game is really fun. It's called Drug Dealer Simulator. From the creators of Thief Simulator, which was also a pretty good game. And by the way, if you're listening to this over the weekend, I think they're not paying me to do this, but it's on sale on Steam right now for like half off. I paid like $7 for it. You'll probably have to pay more in the U.S.
17.
But yeah, but it's pretty damn good. It's fun. My favorite part is when you can get on the workbench and like start cutting drugs with like you can cut speed with like baking powder and sugar and shit.
Well, you wouldn't want to do that.
Yes, you would because you save money.
Yeah, it's pretty rude.
Rude. I love the way you say rude, Brad.
Yeah. Well, I'm a polite guy. I got manners.
By the way, here's a tip for cutting drugs in the game. Like, don't cut more than 20% because then they'll figure it out. Because I tried selling a 50-50 mix of baking powder and speed to some bitch, and
yeah, she shot
she
you,
figured
right?
out. No, she tried to order again. Actually, she just sent a text message complaining about the about the shit being weak.
Oh yeah.
But if it's 20%, they don't notice it.
I don't know.
That's a tip.
It's a
Tip
risky,
for you guys.
risky business there, bud.
Trust me, like it's some bitch. The woman's name I think is Marie Bong, which yeah,
Okay.
you can tell this game was not created by people who speak English.
No, I think it's just
So
supposed to be silly because what Thief Simulator was like really popular, and like the whole thing in that was just pretty dumb.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like was like you couldn't like just fucking beat the shit out of people when you were robbing stuff. Like an actual thief would like just fucking just stove someone's head in with a crowbar or something.
Well, you catch another charge then, man.
I'm pretty sure like serious home invaders don't give a shit.
I don't know.
It's like you're already breaking into someone's house and stealing all their valuables. Like, what's another charge?
Well, I mean, in that case, 5 to 10. I mean, you get like what, 3 to 5 for breaking into somebody's fucking house, and they catch you. You fucking hit them with something. Like, okay, well, there you go. You're done.
You hit them and you just don't get caught.
No, they get caught because then it's like, oh yeah, it's home invasion. It becomes like a home. It stops being like a home burglary and a home invasion somewhere around like caving somebody's fucking skull in. Like that's. I think that the police they care a little more at that point. Someone steals your stereo or like you catch them stealing and they get away. Like the cops are gonna be like, oh, what did he look like? Oh, okay. Well, we'll be on the lookout. But it's like if somebody breaks into someone's house and is just like, oh, look, my wife doesn't have legs anymore. Then they, there's a manhunt. It's on the news. There's artist renderings and shit. It's a big deal.
I guess that's a good point. I would just like the option, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. I just go play Grand Theft Auto. You want to kill everybody so fucking bad.
Grand Theft Auto sucks.
You're dumb.
No, it's a bad game. It's
not
overrated.
A bad game. It's fucking awesome and it's perfectly rated. It's rated M for mature.
Yeah, but I'd like to talk a bit more about this, but I'm sure Benjamin is waiting to get on the line, so we'll have him on in just a bit. Stay right here, kids. And before that, if you have tips and questions before the show, send them to streamlabs.com/terrorhouse magazine. But anyway, Benjamin Welton coming right up.
Go.
All right, Ben, welcome to Terror House Radio. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, I start out all the first-time interviews like this because I always want to give them a chance to define themselves in their own words. So imagine a few people in the audience know who you are, Ben, but can you just give a brief overview of yourself, your work, that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, pretty uninteresting guy in general. I mean, I come from a small town in West Virginia originally. Moved around a lot as an adult, lived in Texas, Illinois, Massachusetts, Vermont, all different types of places. Have started writing pretty seriously as in like wanting to actually turn in my work for publication around 2010, 2011. It's been a long process, tons of rejections, but I've been picking up steam ever since. And I do tend to write in more of the sort of darker horror, mystery sort of genres. Always been more attracted to that sort of style, I guess. But generally as a person, I would say I'm incredibly uninteresting.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much of the stuff that you've written is like true or whatever, but the things about like, it's a truck. I used to go to punk rock shows and I knew this fuck up guy. Those are my favorite things you've written. Just things I'm just like, look at how fucking normal that is. Like it's relatable, I'm like, look at that guy. See, I grew up in West Virginia as well, so like I've always thought that like everything. I'm like, this guy is pretty good. He's not telling me a whole bunch of nonsense or using flowery language. I hate the flowery language.
Highfalutin, as my grandfather would say.
Yeah, I hate that.
I do too. No, those are all true. The punk rock thing. The little fun coda was that I temporarily lost hearing in one of my ears, and the night afterwards, I was on a date, and I pretty much ruined my chance for a second date or anything else because I just kept forcing the girl to repeat herself because I couldn't hear a fucking word she was saying. But no, it's all true. Some of the names obviously were changed, but yeah, that guy in Vermont, after writing that, I wanted to get in contact with him, but then I realized, like, he's probably homeless. I don't know. Right. Driving like 5 hours, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get in touch with that guy.
He might be dead.
You know what? Honestly, when I found out later the cocktail of drugs that guy was on, I would not be surprised if he was dead. Because
what was he on?
He was on he which was crazy because I didn't know they still prescribed this, but he was on lithium, like hardcore lithium. Plus he was on some anti-schizophrenic drug, some anti-seizure medication, because I guess he would convulse in seizures. Not like he would writhe on the floor, but the one experience I had with him where he just kept repeating himself and couldn't look at me in the eye. I guess that was him having a seizure. I think he was also on just some more Klonopin, yeah, that sounds familiar. But I also think he was on some like heart medication as well. He was all screwed up.
Klonopin is like the fucking psycho drug. Like, Klonopin was originally designed for epileptics to like turn down the voltage in their brain to stop having seizures. But then somewhere along the line, it started getting prescribed as an antipsychotic. Every insane fucking person I've ever known was on Klonopin. My insane ex used Klonopin.
Okay, one, it's a fun-ass drug, and two, it's used for anxiety issues.
That's true. I was going to say that the two famous people I know of who take or took Klonopin, well, I use famous loosely, are Jay Moore and Stevie Nicks, and I think they've like gone on record about how wonderful of a drug it is.
It's addictive as shit, but yeah.
Stevie Nicks, like, she got off Klonopin and she said it basically just ruined her life.
Oh, really? Okay, that makes sense.
Well, there you go. Don't go off of Klonopin.
Keep snort it if you have to. Shit. He was the only person I've ever known to take Klonopin, and he definitely was not a billboard because I never, even when he wasn't fucked up, he was a zombie. Like, he talked slow, his brain worked slow. He was not Mr. Energetic. I mean, I remember having to cover his class one day because he just didn't show up, and the students were like, "Yeah, he just sat down and would say, like, everybody, we're not going to teach class. I'm not going to teach class today. We're just going to read silently." Like, that was him not, going psycho. So he wasn't exactly a ball of energy.
Well, dude, the reason he was all kinds of Klonopin just fucks you up. It's a benzo. It's like Xanax. It's like, Ativan. Yeah. It's you just everything. Your whole house could burn down around you, and you're going like, shit. I'll deal with that sometime. This benzos, man. That's just what they do to you.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't think I've ever taken anything like that ever. So I don't know.
It's fucking awesome. It's so cool. I mean, you don't remember shit. It fucks your memory forever. And it makes you sleepy. But, like, yeah, I mean, you just feel good about everything. Just go look up, like, people on Xanax on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious. It makes you a dumbass, but you feel great. All of the SoundCloud rappers, I was
going to say, yeah, that's, like, a big part of the whole, like, SoundCloud, like, emo rap. Like, I know, like, Lil Peep and some of those guys were big Xanax heads.
Yeah. Klonopin,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, I just remembered a funny Klonopin story I have. This is like the one Klonopin story I had that isn't like degrees of fucked up. So I used to, I still know him, but I haven't seen him in a long time. I used to know a Swedish dude who would take Klonopin like occasionally for like fun. And there was a person in our circles who we all fucking hated, but we had to like keep up the appearance of being friends with temporarily. So my friend, the Swedish friend, threw a house party. And he secretly dosed this retard's drink with Klonopin. Not like that much, but like it was like a couple of tablets or whatever.
Black out.
There was this chick at the party who had huge tits. And while he was tweaked out in Klonopin, this retard started just sat down next to her and started like, rubbing her leg in a lecherous fashion and trying to kiss her, telling her that she was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen, and she was just kind of standing there like wondering what the fuck's going on. That was so hilarious to watch.
Well, he was blacked out, dude. If you mix alcohol with benzos, you're gonna black out. You will.
Yeah, and from what I understand, like he spent like the next 48 hours in bed after the party ended.
Jeez. Now, like on a benzo blackout like that, or is it normal behavior that they just get like sleepy, goofy, or is it like can it sometimes be like an alcohol blackout where they still manage to do some like crazy dangerous shit every once in a while?
Oh no, see, so like if you mix alcohol with benzos, then you're more likely to just black out. You can pass out, anything like that, depending on like what you take and how much you take of it. Just on its own, I've fallen asleep from that. But like when I say you don't remember stuff, it's like not really blacking out. It just destroys your memory. Like you're cognizant at the time you're doing stuff, kind of. People could tell you're kind of out of it, but it just wrecks your memory. Like you don't really remember.
It gives you anterograde amnesia.
Jesus. I mean, probably that's why I would never do it, to be honest with you. Every time I've ever gotten blackout drunk, all I wound up doing is falling asleep. So I think I would take a half a benzo and just start snoring. I'm a pretty soporific guy when it comes to substance abuse.
I just probably shouldn't do benzo. They're super addictive.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, this guy in particular, we fucked with him so much. There was another party like my Swedish friend threw, and as part of it, at one point he had everyone do like a round of absinthe shots. Oh. Now, if you are doing absinthe, and you're supposed to dilute it with water beforehand, because that shit is gives a major kick. And in the case of this retard, he gave him an undiluted absinthe shot, and he suddenly started going around like, he hugged me. He was like, "You're such a good writer, man. I love you so much." And then he went to my friend. He was like,
"Wow, he was drunk.
You're a hero," and all this stuff. And then he just went to the bathroom and face planted in the toilet and started throwing up everywhere.
Whoa. This would happen in like Central Europe, would it? Because in my personal experiences, Swedes dominate in Central Europe for some ungodly reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm not going to say where the story took place, but it was somewhere in Central Europe. But yeah, anyway, after he started throwing up all over the bathroom, we dragged him over to the couch where he kept throwing up, and we put a bucket under his face. Then we had to drag him into the other bathroom, the one with the bathtub, and put him on his side so he wouldn't choke. It's hilarious too. He just stayed there all night, but eventually he kind of sobered up. There was the point where like the party ended, and I was staying with my Swedish friend at the time. I was looking for an apartment, and as soon as the party ended and like everyone went home, like the dude immediately got up and like just left. Like he knew it was going on. He felt deep shame at his actions that night.
Well,
that's pretty. Isn't that how like that story reminded me? That's how like Jimi Hendrix died. So if you guys had just taken worse care of him, your friend could have been Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. No, we weren't going to let him die. We made sure he was on his side. He didn't choke or anything. Well, he choked socially, but he didn't literally choke.
Well, I think we all do that.
And by the way, if it sounds like we were being cruel, this guy fucking deserved it. I'm not going to go into details, but he was an utter piece of shit.
I can believe it.
Yeah, I met some real crazy characters in my time in Europe. But anyway, to kind of move on to we should talk about this. Ben, we're bringing out your book, Sick Inside the Citadel, in a few days. It's coming out on Friday, April 24th. You wanted to talk a bit about the book?
Sure. Yeah. So basically, to the meat of it, the title is actually like an inside joke because so much of my adult life, unfortunately, has been spent in academia, or at least in the pursuit of academia, and regardless of department, regardless of location, I've always been sort of the weirdo. So that's why I sort of talking about like I was the sickness inside the sort of white ivory tower. Once was called a fascist, literally, because I used to polish my shoes. Someone said only Mussolini would do such a thing, and they weren't joking, which was I thought very funny. But the book itself, I've always wanted to write a novel, and I thought that I don't have the patience at the moment, so the next best thing I can do is focus on short stories. I got to be honest with you guys. The current publishing world, I think short stories, I don't know if it's got legs anymore. So pretty much everyone's writing novels. That being said, I've dipped every once in a while into the sort of modern novels. And most of them are just elongated short stories. It's like, why the fuck is this 300 pages? This could be 110 pages. Sorry, that stupid ding. I just told someone to.
He's making cookies.
David.
Oh, fuck, man. I would love some cookies right now. My fat ass would love some cookies. But yeah, I sort of think, especially with the genres I work with, they do better in sort of short, sharp, declarative sentences, as minimal detail as possible, because especially if you're trying to scare people or make them laugh, it's all about the unexpected, or it's all about the sort of unknown. And when you give everything away, or when you can go into these long soliloquies about characters, I don't know, it loosens the power for me a little bit. So that's why I've tended to focus on short stories. And in the end, I'm just glad this thing is finally seeing the light of day. I think I originally compiled the manuscript in 2018, which was a really rough year for me, but glad to see it coming to fruition.
Yes, we're bringing it out. It's funny you say that about horror in regard. This is where I think Bryden could interject, because he's got thoughts on this as well as comedy.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that the key to horror. So I'm a comic, and then I like horror a whole bunch. But I think that like the key to like horror and comedy are basically pretty close together in the fact that you're eliciting an emotion, for a sudden and unexpected emotion from somebody, be it like, right. Oh, I'm scared, or oh, it's laughter. So it's all about taking somebody on the shortest ride from point A to point B, but point B is just like a sudden left turn. And so I'm glad that you do the horror thing and you mentioned comedy, because again, you see, even soliloquy is too long of a fucking word for me. Now I'll do drunken long rants or whatever, but I'm not gonna be using any of those $5 words. All right?
Yeah, those 10-cent cigar words.
Yeah.
No, I think it was John Landis said that what unites comedy and horror is anarchy. It's the idea that anything can happen at any time. And in comedy, that means something hilarious, and horror means something devastating. And I kind of always operated under that mindset. And I think that's also where I get the ideas for my stories, is I just will sit around and go, wouldn't it be weird if, or wouldn't it be strange if this? And then I just sort of let it go from there.
Dude. Fuck yeah! Half of what I think about, like comedy wise, is like, oh, what if there was this guy that that's it, and it's stupid bullshit. I'm like, oh, like what if there was this guy that was like Selma Hayek's titty managers or whatever, right? And I mean, that sounds great. That sounds funny. Also sounds like a hell of a job. You want that one. But
in a world where people are gay,
one man. The titty manager, and I can see it in bold letters. It'd be wonderful. But yeah, I'm impressed by people who do any sort of stand-up comedy, because as you're going to find out as this call goes on, I'm a rambler. So I would worry if I ever did something like that. It would be, the Joker scene where he's just up there eating his balls, and that would just be me over and over again for like 20 years.
No, that was a good set in that movie, dude. And don't fillet me too fucking much, because like I haven't been up in a few months, so and I'm not very good anyway. But
now here's the question: was Arthur Fleck stand up better than Rupert Pupkins in The King of Comedy? Now that's a difficult question.
Oh, there you go. I thought you were going to ask me, was it better than Nanette? To which I can say,
of course,
yes.
There's nothing kills comedy more like
than women.
Well, yeah. Australians, because Jim Jeffries, I was a big fan of him, and then ever since he did that Second Amendment rant, he realized, oh, there's my niche, and then he just ran with it. But
the king of selling out.
Oh, for sure. Like, you listen to him when he was on the Opie and Anthony show versus his own show, it's like, which one is the real person, right? I tend to think it's the latter, and the earlier where he was crass and talking about like how lesbians are no fun. That was him performing.
I don't know. I would probably say the opposite. I think before he was just like a younger guy, and he was like, that's pretty funny. And then he wanted a career, and then he met Hollywood people, so he had to be like, I'm sorry. You know, guns are bad and lesbians are great to be around. You know, he's the worst guy. He went from going to talking about like sweaty, gross, fat threesomes to just saying like, "What do you mean you hate Muslims?" And that's not even what the people said. He just edits it. I mean, he's just a fucking piece of work. He
went from being a sort of a guy's comic to the Australian John Oliver.
Yeah.
It's a bum, especially because, you know, I think sometimes incorrectly, but we uphold comedians as being sort of honest voices. And then when you see so many of them are just slimy sellouts.
No, I don't know. Don't include we in that. I think comedians are all a bunch of pieces of fucking shit. They're almost as bad as actors and writers.
Yeah, well, writers suck. And academics are the fucking worst, let me tell you.
Yeah. Dude, more like Zima rock to the head. There you go. Got him, idiot.
Yeet, as the kids say. Yeet.
Yeah, dude. No, I don't know. I hate anybody that makes stuff. I mean, you got to make stuff because, like, otherwise, you know, you just gives a shit. But, like, no, anybody who makes stuff and takes that shit seriously at all, no offense to you guys.
No.
You know, somebody should probably you should sprain your ankle at least, like, once a week and be like, oh, shit, you know, just to remind you that you're a dumb human being like everyone else.
Every morning I slam myself in the balls just to keep myself humble.
I think we did that on the last show, Bryden. Make shit and die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't remember what I say on these things most of the time.
I don't know about
You're good
you.
company. I can barely remember what I eat for dinner the other day.
There you go.
I don't know about you guys, but
because the list was so long. Sorry, I had to get in that burn.
That's nice. But if there's one genre of literature or movie I don't give a shit that really bothers me is the people who talk about writing or comedy or whatever, and they talk about how difficult it is, and it makes me want to throw pens at them just because it's so self-indulgent. And the scary thing is when you meet people like that in real life, that's all they talk about. It's like, oh, it's so difficult to write a thesis.
So difficult. I've got writer's block, guys. Feel sorry for me.
Right.
Let me tell you this. If you got writer's block, you know what you do? Introduce a talking dog.
There you go.
Introduce aliens. Just like go on, make it a porn. You know, just go whoop.
Yeah.
Pull it a different way. And then people will think you're a genius.
Pretty much. Yeah, you at least get a New York Times shout out if you had like a trans heroin addicted dog.
Just end the story right where you're blocked at and then have it with like they wake up out of bed and it was all a dream. There you go. Finish your story for you.
There you go. Yeah, no.
It turns out the lead character was black all along. And then there's your ending.
Genius.
Yeah, dude. I can fucking kill it. Okay, I'm going to start a new website called Writer's Block, and you send it to me, and then I'll market it on like Fiverr as I'll finish your story for you, and then just send everybody hardcore just erotica as the ending. I'll just have their
if you're writing a sports story about like a boxing champion who's like getting annoyed with his coaches giving him coaching even when he's on the toilet, add a scene where they put a towel in his mouth and ass fuck him.
Yeah.
Work for Pulp Fiction.
Motivation. That's right. I think erotica sort of surrealism always is a game changer and is always a winner.
Yeah. Everyone loves sex.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just fucking hate art people. You know what's really the worst? People that go to museums. Oh my god.
People don't even make anything; they just consume it, and then it's a different type of consumption because they think they're on an elevated plane. So it's like, oh, look at me looking at this art, especially at the modern art section. Like here, I live in Boston right now, so every once in a while I'll go to the MFA, and Christ almighty, the people who just stand in front of the modern art section. And like, here's a painting of blue, the color blue, and these idiots, it's a fucking painting of the color blue. There's nothing to talk about.
What do you think?
Here's a bunch of squiggles on a canvas, and it symbolizes the chaos of the technology-driven world. And Ted Kaczynski was right.
How do you fucking?
Well, I don't know if they never go that far.
Yeah. How do you get into that? How do you get into that fucking realm of stuff? Like, I don't know how you do it. Like, just throw a bunch of shit somewhere and then hand it to somebody and go, look, it's meaningful, right? I think somebody
it's
has to
be
tell
a
you.
lot of it's got to be a lot of knee work if you catch my drift, because it seems that art world is so circular and so insular that it's got to be like, somebody and they, for some stupid ass reason, buy your painting for an exorbitant amount and then they hang it up somewhere. I don't know. Nor do I really care, frankly.
Well,
it seems like a racket.
Yeah, I know, and it's like, what a fucking play to make, dude. I want to get in on that. Like, it seems like the worst thing that you have to do is go drink fucking Malbecs around a bunch of nerds. And then if you just, like, make fun of them, then they'll feel bad about themselves and go, oh, it's art. I just don't understand the art.
Especially probably because these modern art paintings, they can't take more than an hour. Here's me going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh with my paintbrush.
Or penis.
Think about or penis. Definitely happens.
Have you ever seen this? You ever seen this horrible movie from the 90s called Vivid? I'm not sure. I would almost think it would be like a parody of modern artists, but like it's not self-aware enough for that. The only reason people know who it was is because Carrie Wooher was in it, like the chick from Sliders. And the premise is that it's about this artist, like, just, he just can't be inspired and he can't paint anything. And he also refuses to have sex with his girlfriend, which, that's where it goes into the realm of unbelievability for me, because anyone who refused to fuck Carrie Wooher circa 1997 is a repressed homosexual. But anyway, like at some point, like he decides to do like a nude picture painting of her, but like he gets frustrated and tears up the canvas, and like she insults him, and then then they just start fucking on the canvas while they're covered in paint, and then they're like, "This is brilliant. We should sell these. I feel inspired. We're just gonna throw paint on our bodies and have sex, and then just sell the canvases, and it's fantastic." And that's what I think of every time I see these modern art people.
Currently has a 4.2 rating on IMDb.com. Vivid, 1999. Sounds interesting.
Is that good or bad?
I would assume, anything below a 5 normally is subpar.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's not good, because like it's just bland. Oh yeah, and the twist later on is like what's her face, Carrie Wooher's character goes like on a trip or something, and like the dude decides to have like another woman come in, and he doesn't have sex with her, but she just masturbates with a vegetable on the canvas, and like Carrie Wooher catches him, and she's like super pissed off. I was like, you saw this coming, right?
Yeah. Well, not the vegetable part.
Yeah.
There's actually a new movie. It's actually a horror movie, speaking of sort of the genre, but it's a movie called Bliss that came out last year, and it's sort of about a painter with painter's block, I guess, who takes some crazy ass drug and turns into a vampire. So the genre is still alive and well, just with less fucking.
That's awesome, though. I want to take vampire drug.
Sure. Yeah.
That sounds vaguely interesting. I don't know. I mean, there was a period a few years back where I was just like obsessed with watching these shitty B movies. There was another one in the same vein I watched called 9 Songs that came out in, I think, 2004, if I recall correctly. And the whole premise of that was like the sex scenes in it were not simulated. Like the two main characters actually were having sex.
Oh,
and it's interesting. Interesting premise, and the movie is just fucking terrible. Like, it literally just goes between they go to Brixton Academy or whatever the place is, in the music venue is in London, and they just watch shows, and then they go and they have sex, and they go watch another show and they have sex, and oh yeah, there's a live performance by the Arctic Monkeys. Oh, exciting!
So wait, what you're saying is, here's some music, full penetration, some music, full penetration, music, full penetration, and then the movie just sort of ends.
Well, they don't start with full penetration. Like, they start with like a blowjob, and then there's like a scene where like the woman gets tied up, and
I'm not really...
and it ends with full penetration.
I'm not really interested in that. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. You got to watch It's Always Sunny, dude. It's probably one of the best shows on TV.
My Swedish friend tried to get me into that.
I feel like the more recent seasons have been pretty disappointing.
Nah, it's fine. It's pretty good. I mean, it's what else is on TV?
My friend
What
loves
the fuck
It's
else are you
Always
gonna watch?
Sunny. My friend likes It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he doesn't like Seinfeld because it's too Jewish. So what does he know?
Yeah, that's kind of a dumb thing since they're essentially the same show, except It's Always Sunny's far less Jewish. Yeah, but that's dumb.
That is dumb.
Yep. So what do you want to watch then?
Oh, well, I've been under quarantine for a while. Christ, how much have I watched? I'm a bit of a detective show nut, so I was watching some show out of Italy called Inspector De Luca, which takes place in like the 3 different phases of Italian life. So fascist Italy, communist partisan Italy, and then post-war neoliberal Italy. It was pretty good. I watched a couple movies out of Denmark about some a Danish police investigator and his Syrian friend solving crimes. I don't know. I like that shit.
Did you ever watch Psych?
Psych, yes, I've seen episodes. I didn't get into it, but I did see episodes, and some of them I did enjoy.
It's funny. It's detective-y.
Yeah, what was the other one? Monk, where the guy was like obsessive compulsive. Is that what he had or something?
Yeah. I never got as deep into Monk. Psych gets terrible after a while. Like all fucking shows like that do. It just becomes unwatchable. But like the first 2 seasons of it are fucking hilarious for what it is, You know what my favorite detective thing is? Veronica Mars, motherfucker.
Oh, nice. Never saw it.
Oh, you gotta check it out, dude. You got Kirsten Bell, and it's like it's stupid. It's actually a really good show with a cool story, but like it's rough to be a guy and being like, oh fuck yeah, Veronica Mars. You have to tell people, oh, I just Kirsten Bell is why. No, the story's great. It's just great.
That sounds like the show, like when I was in high school, like guys who loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer had to keep that shit secret because it was such a girly show.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll check that out. Yeah, besides reading, I really have nothing else to do. So.
Oh, you shouldn't read. Shouldn't read. Why are you reading?
To make myself aware of how superior I am to everybody else. That's why.
Oh, well. Yeah. I guess maybe that's the
And
best
humble.
reason.
That's right.
But, reading.
I should take was it James Elroy? He claims that he doesn't read anybody else's work, so he doesn't lose his great style. Maybe I should take after him.
Yeah. It's like how Kurt Cobain refused to listen to any music aside from his own because he was afraid of other people's ideas influencing him.
Yeah.
There was one story where he ran screaming with his hands over his ears from a cafe because they were playing music over the intercom.
Jesus Christ.
I'm probably sure it had nothing to do with him being on drugs.
Yeah,
Sure
or being a head case before that.
Nietzsche also refused to read other people's books because he didn't want other men to cuck him with his ideas.
Yeah. Well,
And then I told that to Bryden, and then Bryden started reading Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Nietzsche.
Yeah, he's a fucking pompous asshole. I like him. It's just like, listen, this is already shit I thought of besides all that fucking gay, weird Ubermensch crap. Fucking nerd. That guy's a nerd. I like him, but what a baby. I'm better than everybody. No, you're not. Stop it.
I'll just remember he got rejected for marriage 3 times by a woman who was like a 3 at best.
All women back then were 3s, though, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
especially if you take into count dental hygiene. More like a 2.5.
Yeah, think about it. It's like they didn't invent razors until 1950, and even then they were just using them on their armpits.
No, this chick was ugly.
And I would assume she'd be German, so that's another factor you have to take into account.
I think she was actually Russian.
Even worse.
Even worse.
A Russian Jew, to be more specific.
And yet, this is the guy who creates the sort of Ubermensch. And wasn't that like Chesterton's big beef against him, that he was a physically weak guy who was obsessed with being stronger because he himself was inferior physically, mentally, spiritually?
I mean,
Okay.
some people think he had syphilis, so I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Let me clarify here. The woman I was talking about was Lou von Salome. She was born in Russia. She was from a Russian-German family. And quote, although she would later be attacked by the Nazis as a Finnish Jew, her parents were actually of French Huguenot and Northern German descent.
French
So okay, she
Huguenot?
was German.
And she was a psychotherapist, apparently. So that's
Yes.
Oh, they must have been intolerable to talk to.
oh god.
God, can you imagine running into them at a fucking party? It's like, oh shit, fuck, don't look, here come the ninjas.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
I remember
fuck.
reading about this woman in what was the book? The Art of the Seduction by what's his face? I forget the guy's name. He also wrote the 48 Laws of Power. And basically, this woman, despite not being that good looking, like got all these fucking men wrapped around her finger.
Well, that's Cleopatra, right? Like they do a digital reconstruction, and she looked like your average Greek guy with the big schnozola. Like she wasn't attractive, but yet she basically fucked every guy of power who came out of Rome.
Yeah, there was a funny quote that like Mark Antony had about her, or someone did. She was called the Gaper. Among the Romans, called her the Gaper because of how promiscuous she was.
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen this before. That's an ugly bitch, Cleopatra.
She was not attractive.
God damn. Yeah, even if you tried to doll it up with some makeup, still just looks like a dude. That's rough.
She was mannish. She was a mannish woman. Could
Yeah.
even get away with saying handsome. I think even Elizabeth Taylor got her beat in reality.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough. I mean, how'd you like to? Like, I don't know. I mean, what's that say about like okay, these two women? I think it says like since the dawn of time, men will just fuck anything. Like she's like, the stories say, oh, she had men wrapped around her finger. It's like, no, she had their dicks wrapped around her mouth. Like that's not. What is that? Oh, she was seducing men. Like what? By blowing them all? That's not a difficult thing to do.
The lesson is that power belongs to the threes. The meek will not inherit the earth. The three will.
I remember a footnote in the decline and fall of the Roman Empire, in which Gibbon talked about one Byzantine empress using all three apertures, and it took me a long time to figure out what that actually meant. And when I did, I laughed.
That's got to be Theodora, Justinian's wife.
It was Theodora, yes.
Yeah, because she was
the name
rumor
came to
was
me.
that she was a prostitute before she became a empress, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And here's another fun fact along those same lines. In ancient Rome, anal sex was considered superior to oral sex, like with Brian talking about the blowjobs. Because before the invention of Listerine, anyone who gave a blowjob would have bad breath.
Yep, you probably wake up with some sort of colored spots on your dong. So I think the Romans knew what they were talking about. Although, I mean, did they parse out anal sex with men and women? Did they talk about the difference in torsion?
No, they didn't. Not to my knowledge.
No. They probably would have asked the Greeks for clarification.
Yeah. Well, the Greeks are more hardcore about it. The Greeks were basically like women, or at least the Athenians were like women are strictly for making babies.
I have a theory that the Spartans invented the donkey punch. I don't know why, but I just believe it was them. It seems like something they would do.
Oh, the Spartans! There's so many fun stories about the Spartans. Here's an example of how screwed up the Spartans were. When a woman, when a girl turned like 13 and like got her first period, they would immediately marry her off to a guy. But in order to get the guy like sexually interested in her, because like they had strict sex separation, and the guys have been living in an all male dorm since age 7, they would shave her head so she looked like a boy, and then put her in the wedding bedroom with her new husband, because that was the only way to get them interested.
That's progressive, man. Gender fluidity and shit.
Yeah, I mean that also sounds like the origin of the British private school system, because they all were banging each other.
I like how the history of mankind is basically all like, yeah, up until 2015-ish, everybody was a pedophile, and then about 2017, they started accepting pedophiles again into the mainstream. So we had 2 good years. 2015, 2016 was good.
2 solid years running.
Yeah, 2 solid years. We had that Trump campaign, Trump election, and then it was just right back to the pedophilia for, all the powers that be.
I forget what comedian who said it, but it might have been Jim Norton, where he said that he doesn't understand how you can be attracted to kids because their hands are always so fucking sticky.
I mean, that's one good point. I mean, there's several. Louis did a good bit on pedophilia in his latest special, which everybody should go to louisck.com. It's only $8. Give Louis your money. He fucking needs it. Well, he doesn't really need the money as much as he deserves your money.
That, to me, honestly, of the whole Me Too kerfluffle, that was the most bullshit story, because all you needed was a brain cell to realize that what he did, I couldn't understand how that could be construed as sexual assault, sexual harassment. Like, that was...
Well, I mean, they did, weren't they fine with it at the time? Like, the chicks, all he did was fucking jerk off in front of them, and he was like, can I jerk off in front of you? And they're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the be-all, end-all of the story, was that he asked, this is like some weird autistic thing he likes to do, and they said yes. And apparently these girls, this would happen years ago, and it was like their party story. They would take people out on drinks and tell them the story. But for some reason, retold with dramatic music, he comes across as a sexual predator.
Well, this was known. This was widely known years before he got in fucking trouble for it. I mean, it was widely known. There had been articles and stuff about it. Now, after the Me Too thing started, I thought, when are they going to fucking get Louis? Because, everybody knows about this, it's been out there. You could easily Google it. Everybody knew about it. There was articles and stuff.
He just did what Diogenes did, but unlike Diogenes, he asked for permission.
But yeah, I mean, just the whole thing is dumb. He covers it in a special. I'm not gonna try to, repeat any of that. But he does a good job of doing it. But yeah, I think it's horrible what fucking happened to Louis. I mean, I think everybody with a fucking brain has thought what happened to Louis. But it's just like, white male. That's all you do. Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but when all that shit was hitting the fan, the first accusation that I felt like started to turn the corner was, and you bring up race, was Aziz Ansari. He was the first one where people were like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Your accusation doesn't seem legitimate. It doesn't seem like he actually raped or sexually assaulted you.
Still ruined him. They still
did, yeah. I mean, true.
I mean, because that whole thing here, the problem is with Aziz Ansari, Louis C.K., any of that is, under Aziz Ansari, he just didn't become her boyfriend, so she got mad about it. With Louis C.K., right, none of this watching him jerk off helped their career, so they got mad about it. It seems to be a trend with a lot of this Me Too shit.
Careerism,
right,
security denied, then turns into sort of venom.
Do you mean women always fucking do? I mean, just let's be completely honest here.
I have experiences suffering that fate, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm sure as most men do.
Just, you didn't do what I wanted, so now you're an evil human being. But then you just get this mob shit of the internet. Yeah, I mean, I think they should just cut off the fucking internet. I would love to just see it, but only for women. The guys can stay,
And weird foreigners who post cryptic but unintentionally hilarious tweets about they've losing their best friend Hassan and they have a new friend Ahmad.
Oh yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, guys worldwide, you can stay on the internet. Or we'll just make 2 separate internets. The world would be so much better if we just had 2 separate internets: girl internet and boy internet.
Yeah, the problem would be that all the girls would want our internet, though. Then we would have to.
Well, of course.
Fight that battle.
Dude, that's where all the good content is on fucking dude internet. Because if you think about it like this, it's I've been thinking about this because of the big, every fucking hole has a fucking OnlyFans now, right? That's who's going to pay for that in an oversaturated market to begin with. But like, even in pornography, the thing that women are the star of, it's still a man making the content, you know, bankrolling the whole thing, all of that. Women are just, they're barely an active participant, even in pornography. So it's like, dude, internet content, way better. We'd be over here fucking chatting it up, saying the N-word, laughing about shit. Women internet, worse than a sewing circle. Because it'd be a sewing circle where people would just, like, be catty and terrible with each other, and there'd be no men to come in white knight.
And the thing about sewing circles, because we do have that shit up here in New England, is they're all a bunch of commies. So that I don't understand. But
why?
Socks equals a social revolution, I guess.
Okay. Thought it was for old ladies, but sure, whatever.
Well, old commie ladies in New England. But I do have a question, because I've just been seeing this, and I'm an old man who doesn't really fuck around too much with the internet. Like I said, I'm pretty damn boring. But what the hell is OnlyFans? Like, I keep seeing this thing about quarantine and OnlyFans. What is that?
It's basically decentralized prostitution. Like, women set that up, and they charge people.
It's girls fucking charge for nudie pictures.
Okay, it's decentralized stripping. I stand corrected.
And people pay for that shit? Like, what about like Google Images?
Yeah, there's like a whole thing going on with it.
Well, it's like with webcamming. Like, the whole idea is like the woman is personalizing the content for you, so you get to pretend that you have like a girlfriend. You know, like, whereas porn and pictures on the internet is not going to give the same thrill, because the guys who are like being exploited by this, the guys who are using OnlyFans, like, aren't just looking for like sex. Like, they're so starved of human connection that they just want like someone to act like they care about them.
Yeah, but no, just I don't know. It's one thing to like talk to a stripper. You know, it's another to just like I don't think they're being exploited. I think they're fucking stupid. If there's a market for it, fucking go for it. But it's so oversaturated now that every goddamn bitch thinks that she can just do that. And I say, oh, go for it. It's not gonna work for you. It's gonna be a terrible fucking idea. And then your self-worth is gonna go down when you realize you're making, $5 a month, and it's just that one creepy guy from your town. I say go for it. It's fucking hilarious.
Or a grease wizard from Casper, Wyoming has been jerking off to you for hours. That does remind me, like, I don't know to kind of give the ball away here, but I did write another book of more of my personal remembrances. And one of the guys I feature was my old college roommate. And you said about talking to strippers, he did the classic rookie mistake of falling in love with a stripper.
Oh, no.
Can't do that. She's nothing but lying to you. She's not that interested in you.
I will give him props, though. He did wind up getting a blowy from her in the club. West Virginia strippers, I guess, need that extra tea money. But yeah, that was kind of embarrassing.
Why would you give him credit for buying a prostitute? Like, that's some achievement that people can't do.
Well, at least
I went to a slave market. I buy wife at slave market.
I will give him this, though. At least she was attractive, because he then proceeded to buy prostitutes off of Backpages, who, on the scale of 1 to crack whore, they tended to go in the sort of crack whore direction. Or I should say West Virginia meth whore.
Backpages got shut down for child trafficking, so yeah, I imagine probably not the best characters over there.
I really wish this would have happened, because it would have been a great story, but my cousin is a lawyer in an unnamed state. I won't divulge, but he works in real estate law, and one of his clients was suspecting that the Russian immigrants who lived in his apartment were running some sort of prostitution ring, and he was going to have me set up as a prospective John to help gather information. But it didn't go through because they got arrested before our plan could be enacted.
That also sounds like a dangerous plan. Like, what if they were planning a sting when you showed up?
That's true.
You could be like, oh, no, my real estate lawyer friend sent me here because we are vigilantes.
Yes. Vigilantes operating under the law, like Dirty Harry.
Right, yeah.
Except I'm hanging out with some Russian prostitute.
Yeah. No, I don't think they'd buy that. You could have gone to prison.
All right. It would have been in a nice, white, northern New England state, and I probably would have just been surrounded by maple syrup thieves. Nothing would have happened.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that would have been a hell of a story.
Yeah, dangerous times. Yeah, reminds me of when I was in college. I went to college in Plattsburgh near Burlington.
Oh, I know.
And there was, yeah. And for like 5 minutes, I dated like this chick who was a self-described piercing addict. Like she had the nose piercing, she had like lip piercing, she had her nipples pierced. She was bragging about how she was going to get her clit pierced. And then like 6 months later, she was busted by campus police for turning tricks, which was the source of many, many jokes. Like, hey, do you take Cardinal Cash? Cardinal Cash was like the little on-campus system used to pay for shit, the cards.
That must
just
have been
swipe that in her butt cheeks.
That must have been like fucking a carburetor.
Oh god, it was cold, icy metal. Well, some of it was warm, but yeah, it was just fucking weird.
Sounds like what I'm going to be listening to later. Cold, icy metal.
Oh, dude, Iced Earth. That's a great band.
There you go. I hadn't listened to Iced Earth. I was thinking more like Immortal or some like black metal, considering it just snowed where I am, so it kind of puts you in the mood.
There you go.
It's still fucking snowing in the Northeast.
Well, I mean, your typical Northeast native wouldn't really. It's just like a thin coating of snow, but basically, yeah, it was raining overnight, and I guess it turned to snow. It's still in fucking Michigan.
I have been away for way too fucking long because here, like where I am, it's like right now the sun is set and it's still like 65 degrees.
Jeez. Yeah, aren't you from Syracuse? Isn't that like the snowiest part of the United States?
It is. Yeah, I grew up in Syracuse. Well, when I turned 18, I left and I didn't kind of look back. And I lived the last place I lived in the U.S. was Chicago, so also has bad weather. Yeah, I've been away for way too long because I've lived in places that have very, very nice weather. Like in Georgia and Hungary, it basically just never snows.
Really? I thought Georgia, because it's so mountainous, you would assume that would be pretty snowy.
It snows in other parts of it, but like in Tbilisi, which is like, on the other side of the mountains, and there's rain shadow, like there's basically no snow. Plus it's like very far south, so the weather there is kind of like in Virginia or North Carolina. You've got very mild winters where it rarely goes below freezing, and like summers it's like 100 degrees and it's like 100% humidity.
Is winter like the winters in Netherlands or something where instead of snowing it just rains a shit ton?
It doesn't even really rain that much. Like it's usually just sunny all the time. So like I said, it's like Virginia or North Carolina.
Well, Bryden can speak to this. I'm not from Virginia, but being in West Virginia, I think a lot of people have the misconception that we have your typical southern weather, but not at all. Like growing up, I dealt with snow and rain and all that crazy shit my whole life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember the first time I ever saw a whole bunch of snow in my life. It snowed 3 feet or like 2.5, 3 feet in Polka. I was like, I don't know, fucking 7, something like that. Never seen so much snow in my life. It shut down like the schools for a week. Everything, everybody was
I have family that lives in Elkins, West Virginia, which is way up in the fucking mountains, and it snows sometimes till like mid-May.
Yeah. I mean, there's snow. You get all the different seasons in West Virginia.
Right. Yep.
I mean, it's not the worst place to live if you just are cool with being poor, and it's like marrying someone you went to high school with.
No, I mean, I love it. I mean, I haven't really lived abroad, but I've lived in a bunch of different states, and I always find myself wanting to go back or spending some significant time out of every year going back. It is poor, yeah, but I kind of like the fact that it's kind of 20 years behind the rest of the country.
Yeah.
So a lot of
still say the N-word there.
Yeah, like a lot of the crazy shit that just last year in Boston, the shit they were talking about is not the same as this year. Whereas in West Virginia, people are still concerned about like the flood of '88. So I don't mind it. I like the little slower. It's a nice change of pace for sure.
The last time I went back was a couple years ago, and I wasn't there for too long. But I was like, went back towards my hometown, and it was like, holy shit, they have a Sheetz out here now. And
Sheetz of Walmart, man. That's when you know a town is expanding.
I loved it because Sheetz is great. That's my favorite. We don't have any near here.
You don't have Sheetz in Cincinnati?
No. The closest one's like 2.5 hours away, like into Kentucky, something like that.
That's weird. I mean, I know they've got it in Eastern Ohio.
Oh, they have Sheetz. Yeah, it's a big Eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania. I think Sheetz is out of Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's out of Pennsylvania.
It sounds.
But
what's
the big like gas station place in Cincinnati?
I guess the one that's more, because we got like Shells and fucking all that shit. UDF, United Dairy Farmers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we don't even have 7-Elevens around here. I have not seen a fucking 7-Eleven since I left LA. There's no 7-Elevens in Cincinnati. I thought that was odd as hell because I thought they were
7-Eleven sucks ass.
Yeah,
not only does it sucks ass, but isn't it like kind of dying? Like I'm seeing less and less of them wherever I go in the country.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I just always assumed like, 7-Eleven everywhere, but I haven't seen any. It's UDF, and they're like, oh look, you can come get some ice cream. I'm like, well, it's fucking winter, always here. So
I tell you what, if you like,
my grudge against 7-Eleven is that they bought out Wilson Farms, one of the local convenience store chains in Syracuse, and Wilson Farms was awesome, and 7-Eleven has much more limited selection. If I understand, the other major convenience store chain there, Nice and Easy, was bought out by Circle K. And I'm sure they fucking ruined that too.
Yeah, Circle K, not great. I was surprised when I was in Southeast Asia that 7-Eleven is like almost gourmet food in some parts, but the where we're up in northern New England, they have a place called Cumberland Farms, which I'm a fan of. But yeah, 7-Eleven.
Cumberland Farms is cool, yeah.
Yeah, but 7-Eleven. Circle K, all that stuff, just to sort of, it's the major corporations, man. They all suck.
Actually, question: you've been to Southeast Asia?
I have, yeah. I was in what? Would you count Thailand as Southeast Asia? And
Thailand is what the term Southeast Asia was invented for.
Okay, yeah. So I've been there. Wasn't hunting ladyboys, but I saw plenty of them. But yeah, Thailand. I think I was in Myanmar for a hot minute. So, yeah.
What was that like? Because it's funny. Our Terror House's art director, Matt Lawrence, he lives in Pattaya.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been there for a couple of years. He's a close friend of mine.
Isn't that? Okay, no. I was thinking that was down in like the Malay South. Because
no, it's near Bangkok.
Okay, yeah, because when I was in Bangkok, they're always like, foreigner, yeah, just don't go south, because that's where, like, I guess there's a lot of communal violence on the border with Malaysia. Bangkok.
That was where the insurgency was, but yeah, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
I thought it was still going on. I didn't know it was over.
I think a lot of them just gave up. Like they had a communist insurgency back in the 60s and 70s, but what happened was like all the GIs from Vietnam going to Bangkok to spend their checks just made the country wealthier and wealthier. And literally eventually the communists were just like, yeah, we're being retarded. Let's just go get jobs.
Well, the other thing too I remember was that in the 50s and into the early 60s there was during sort of the waning days of the British Empire, there was the communist insurgency in British Malaysia. Yeah. And when the British won that, I remember hearing that a lot of the commies fled across the border into Thailand because the majority of the communists in Malaysia were ethnic Chinese, and they thought they would have a better time blending in Thailand, where, like, I think the most Chinese people in the world who don't live in China live in Thailand. But they have, they have like Thai names and whatever. So that might have been part of that as well.
Yeah, that's a big thing in Thailand, and also the Philippines. Something like a third of Filipinos have at least some Chinese ancestry.
Ferdinand Marcos, wasn't he? I think he was like almost pure Chinese, wasn't he?
Yeah. I lived in the Philippines for a few years ago.
Never been. I always wanted to go. But yeah, I was in Thailand for a little bit. Went to didn't really do much of the beaches. I don't just really interested me, but I was in the two of the northern provinces. Went to Isan a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Thailand. That was actually like a few years back when I decided I was going to go to a foreign country for the first time, aside from Canada. Canada doesn't count. I was going to go to I was going to go to Thailand because it was like, that's where all the expats go. But then my friend Mark Zolo, we had him on the show like a few days ago. I was hanging out with him in New York, and he was like, don't go to Thailand, go to the Philippines because like there's far fewer tourists there. Everyone there speaks English, and all the girls want to marry a white man. So I went to the Philippines, and I don't really want to go back, but I don't regret going either.
I do know that Thailand, from when I was there, Thailand was losing a lot of its sex tourism revenue because the military government started cracking down on it a couple years back. So now the sex tourist perverts, their stop of de jour apparently is Cambodia. Which
Cambodia is the new Thailand. Cambodia is like where everything's fucking off limits. I remember reading a book like stuff like drugs is very easy to get in Cambodia, like shrooms and whatnot. And keep in mind, Southeast Asia is the part of the world where like if you're caught dealing drugs, you get fucking executed.
Right. Or once you get done having sex with an underage, non-determinate gender person, you could slip and fall on a landmine. So there's that. So if you like danger,
yeah, Cambodia seems a bit interesting to me, but like. It's probably just completely swamped with tourists. It's funny. Matt Lawrence, he went to Laos a couple years back, and he really liked Laos because it's got like all the good things about Thailand, Vietnam, and stuff, but it's much cheaper, and there are no tourists.
Still technically a communist country, correct? I think they're basically like Vietnam, but like they've in the sense that they've just kind of opened up, and they don't really care about that so much anymore. Just don't bring drugs in though. They'll shoot your ass. Yeah, well, that isn't like I thought Burma, Myanmar, whatever the hell you want to call it. Isn't that like the big drug capital of Southeast Asia as well? So they have like a homegrown problem without foreigners bringing skunk weed. I'm sure.
I'm not familiar with Myanmar. All I know about is like it changes its name every 5 minutes. Is it Burma or Myanmar? I'm sure eventually, I'm pretty sure at some point eventually map makers just got threw their hands up and just put both names on the fucking maps.
Like Austria-Hungary with a little dash.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or Zimbabwe Rhodesia.
Yeah, that lasted for a year maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Bryden still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just think that I like America.
America is great.
It's the only place you need to go. Why the fuck else would you like? Oh, I'm gonna go. Well, fuck it. To where? It's like saying, oh yeah, we should go to the shitty part of town. Like why? We have Whole Foods over here. Why do I have to go to the fucking the Aldi?
I like traveling, not because I'm an Instagram girl, but I like it, but I definitely have no desire to live anywhere else. I'm pretty much a thoroughgoing Anglo-American.
If I wanted to fucking see Chinese people, I'd just go to Chinatown. They're over there. Duh. There's Chinatowns all over the country. Just go to one, and then it's about the same.
Yeah, and if I want to see Southeast Asian Hmong, I just go to where they all live, Detroit and Minneapolis.
and Madison, Wisconsin. Don't forget
Wisconsin.
Madison,
Wisconsin?
There's a shit ton of Hmong in Wisconsin for some reason.
It's so weird where some of these groups end up like in Vermont. Everyone talks about Vermont. It's like 98% white or something crazy like that. But Burlington has a large Bosnian and Somali community. I'm like, why the fuck are you in Vermont? Like,
they put a ton of Bosniaks in Syracuse too. Like like a half of my coworkers at my first job at a Kmart were Bosniaks.
Jeez, it's just it's weird. Like I just assumed they would all go to that sewer called New York City, or they would go to like L.A. or something. But yeah. Well,
like with the refugee programs, I think it's intentional. Like when they put like Somalis in, Portland, Maine, and Minneapolis. Have you been to Minneapolis?
No, and I've never actually had any desire because the only thing I like about Minneapolis was Replacements, and I only liked one album, so I said fuck it.
Minneapolis, it's not worth going to. But like, I remember years ago, I hitchhiked across the country, and I spent a week in Minneapolis, and I was staying at a hostel in not Phillips. It was the neighborhood adjacent to Phillips. But both in Phillips and in this neighborhood, there are Somalis everywhere. Like it literally feels like if it weren't for the fact that it was cold out, it felt like it would feel like you were in the middle of Africa.
Shit.
That's pretty funny though. That's kind of like trying to make like linebackers play tennis.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they do it in terms of like their ideology, but you would just think like, okay, if somebody's from Africa, we would find somewhere where the climate would be similar if we have to. And I don't even necessarily agree that you have to, but like, why aren't they in like Arizona? Why aren't they in New Mexico?
Because it's about assimilation, dude. Because totally, these people should be able to assimilate anywhere. Because it's like, a whole big long-winded thing or whatever, and they totally don't just go like, fuck, we're in a weird foreign place. Hey, you're from the same place. You want to just be friends? And then, man, those guys are weird. They don't seem to like us. We don't speak the same language. I guess we'll just be over here, but cold. At least we are not being shot. Neoliberalism is a silly fucking idea.
And I also understand that, like, to be fair to them, it's not like that's ever happened in history before. The fact that like 90% of Italian Americans live between Connecticut and New York. Like, we don't have living historical examples of the fact that ethnic minorities tend to congregate amongst each other and they tend to live in like enclave wherever they go. Like, that's never happened.
I mean, you can't blame anybody for that. Well, I mean, you can blame people for that, but you can't blame like if you think about it,
logically makes sense. But what I'm mocking is the neoliberal idea that you can transplant people anywhere and that they just will eventually, their identities will just bleed away from them and they'll become, hey, how you doing there? Hey, I'm Mohammed Hassan. How you doing? Like, that's not gonna happen.
Well, to be fair, second or third generation it will for a little bit until they have a kid who's just gonna join ISIS immediately.
Oh God. We started off talking about my horror book, and now we're talking about true horror. I love it.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got a question for you. You like horror?
Sure. I do. And horror.
Yeah. What do you think of? And I'm not going to tell you my opinion on it until I hear yours. That way, I know you're not just trying to caress my balls, because I am, the host of this fine program that is heard by millions. What do you think of Lovecraftian horror? Not just Lovecraft, but Lovecraftian horror.
Okay, so I mean, that was one of my biggest influences growing up, and I've written Lovecraftian pastiches myself. That being said, I like his writing. The Lovecraftian, everything that tries to be him afterwards, most of it is utter horseshit.
There you go. Cosmic horror is fucking trash. I hate that shit. It's dumb. They'd be like, by the way, God hates you and he has squid face.
Right. They're overemphasizing the philosophy. They take the philosophy and the fact that in most Lovecraftian stories, really nothing happens. And they just emphasize those two. And it makes incredibly boring writing. Like, I don't know. Do you know Thomas Ligotti?
No.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I actually like his book, The Conspiracy Against the Human Race.
Yes, his philosophy, that sort of pessimism, nihilistic sort of Cioran, is all very interesting, but his stories, barring a few of them, are relentlessly dull because nothing really happens. It's all so cerebral. And I think that's one of the curses of Lovecraft, is that he was such a cerebral writer in terms of like everything pretty much happens in the characters' heads. So it gave carte blanche to people who live exceedingly boring lives to try to make horror stories, and what they create is exceedingly boring horror stories.
Well, I can't claim credit for this insight, but I forgot who came up with it. So like, I apologize in advance. But it was not you. This is before we were even on speaking terms.
Might have been me.
Someone wrote on Twitter a long time ago that part of the reason why Lovecraftian horror doesn't work in the modern world is because like the whole premise of cosmic horror is that, like what Bryden said, like, the universe doesn't care about you. God is a dick. That was meaningful in the 1920s when people were at least at least pay lip service to being Christian, being religious. But we live in a world where atheistic nihilism is the default. So the equivalent of like Lovecraftian horror, in terms of like something that would like impact people, The modern world is a world where like there is a god. There are malevolent forces out there. Your existence is meaningful because like most people have even if they don't like outright accept it, they at least deep down kind of know that their existences don't mean anything. You were brought into this world by accident. Your job is pointless. You have nothing to live for aside from consuming shit. And when you die, you're gonna be kicked in a hole and forgotten. You're gonna be kicked in a hole and forgotten.
You're finally talking some sense. Thank you. That's all I've been trying to say. Is that it doesn't matter if you kill yourself. Specifically you, Matt. That's all I've been trying to say.
What? You're telling me to kill myself?
No,
yes, I
no,
think that's
no.
what you're sort of implying.
I'm just saying that if you were, let's say you're having a down day, you said you were drinking a beer, maybe you have a few more of those, and then you're outside on the balcony smoking a cigarette. What would really happen if you just jumped?
Or slipped, it could be an accident. Shit.
Yeah.
I can tell you how that would go. There's like a little bit of roof underneath it to catch the fall. So what would likely happen is I would hit that, I would roll off it, and I would fall another 3 stories down, and I would just end up with a sprained ankle.
Oh my God! Please go get a GoPro. I'll buy you a GoPro. Send it to you. Just do that.
And there'd be some upset Albanian neighbor yelling at you through his gyro sandwich and Pepsi.
Or
probably they'd like rush out and help me. And then, the police would arrest me for breaking curfew.
No, there'd be a vampire come and get you, because that's all
right.
I got over there.
Yeah, a Muslim vampire.
What is it with you and the fucking vampires, Brian?
That's what lives in Albania. I don't make the fucking Albanian fucking population,
They live in Romania.
Listen,
this is Albania.
It's the same country. They're, probably right next to each other. All the Anians.
Also Hungary. Come on, Transylvania is practically Hungary. I know I just lost all my Romanian friends by saying that, but yeah, they're there.
Hungry for blood.
That's right. Bang, bam.
See?
But to get back to Matt's semi-serious point there, no, I totally agree that, and this is when I started having a falling out. Like, I was a huge metalhead, did all the fucking cringeworthy metal stuff, but I started moving away from that whole scene because I realized this is safe rebellion. They're anti-Christian, anti-religion, no God, no master, all that horseshit. None of that's radical. None of that's it's a radical pose. Talking about the church burning of Norway, they'll talk about that, but they won't go in. But they'll also, in the same mouth, condemn Bargvikernes for the whole, neo-pagan, neo-social, whatever.
Being
it's
racist.
Rebellion. Yeah, racist. It's safe rebellion. It's the same with Lovecraft. They're attracted to him because he has an aura of sort of counterculture, because he kind of creates his own religion. Plus, he does have the element of danger in the fact that he was an outright Anglo-Saxon supremacist. And that's why they're attracted to him in the first place. But now more and more creations are coming out talking about, well, great author, but also unforgivably racist. That's
Sorry about his cat's name. Oops.
Yeah, whoopsies. That's why the show that Netflix is, or Amazon, I don't give a shit, but the one they're going to make finally of Lovecraft is of that book Lovecraft Country, which basically, from what I've read the synopsis, I didn't deign to read it, but they make Lovecraft like a KKK member or something.
Fuck,
some
awesome, dude. That's
some
hilarious.
Journalist goes up there and I don't know.
That's hilarious. Are you serious? They make fucking H.P. Lovecraft like a grand fucking wizard or whatever dumb shit?
H.P. Lovecraft, a grand wizard. H.P. Lovecraft, the incel who lost his virginity to a 40-year-old Jewish woman and lived in his parents' house until he died. He's a grand wizard now.
That's awesome. That's so funny. Holy shit.
Okay, so here is the synopsis from Wikipedia, so please forgive me if it's... Lovecraft Country follows Atticus Black as he joins up with his friend Letitia and his uncle George to embark on a road trip across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of her missing father. This begins a struggle to survive and overcome with both the racist terrors of white America and the terrifying monsters that could be ripped from a Lovecraft paperback.
Oh, so do they have Subnegoroth in there? The Black Goat? The Mother of Millions? No,
Wow.
it's what is it? Shernegoroth.
Nigoroth.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the black
Yeah.
goat, the mother of millions or whatever. Is that which
Yeah.
is like, if you think about it, if you know, like, it sounds like gibberish, and then you go, oh, that's crazy racist.
Yeah.
And we don't have to bleep that one because it's a fucking real Lovecraft god character.
Well, here's just to tie a nice little bow on this. HBO announced, so it's going to be on HBO. Executive producers J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele, the guy who's currently ruining everything right now with the Twilight Zone, which I think is already dead. And then isn't he involved in that show Hunters, where Al Pacino and his pals are hunting?
I recognize the name, but I can't connect.
Peele. He did Get Out.
Yeah, Get Out, Us. He did, like you said, the new Twilight Zone thing, which I haven't watched. I wanted to watch it, but I knew it was going to be fucking dumb. But I give everything a chance.
Fun already.
Like
I haven't heard anything about it.
He was, when he was good, he was on Mad TV, and
Right.
then he did Key and Peele, and then now he's just like, I'm done being funny. I'm gonna just do horrors about like Jason, but he's white. Oh shit, he was already white. Black Jason.
Okay, yeah. He was.
He also did Us, that show where it's like the black family has the doppelgangers.
Yeah.
He apparently appeared in Toy Story 4, and he was the producer of Black Klansman, directed by Spike Lee.
He was whoa.
Okay, say what you want. Spike Lee kicks ass.
I couldn't disagree more. I quote the great Colin Quinlan saying that he's a film school dropout.
Yeah, but okay.
In terms of his artistic quality.
I'm sorry, they're enjoyable movies.
I can't even agree with you there.
Dude, whatever. I'm a man of taste. All right? I like a Spike Lee joint.
What's your favorite Spike Lee joint?
I don't know. I can't remember any of his fucking movies. I'm just making this shit up.
Okay. Sorry to ruin your
You're ruining my bit.
I'm sorry, man.
Hold on. I'm sure I've seen a Spike Lee movie. Spike Lee, I know he's a fucking asshole. I always like listening to him talk because he thinks he's Malcolm X. Yeah, Black
Didn't he
Klan-
do Transamerica?
I have no idea.
I think I saw that.
Let's see.
Wait a minute. Why did you see that?
It was playing on a field trip.
On a field trip?
In
Good God.
college.
Schools have always been bad.
Were you trying to date somebody?
Wait. Everyone is about to fucking eat crow on this. Spike Lee did. No, he didn't. Never mind. They just put it up there with like. No, did he do Tales from the Hood?
What? I thought that was Snoop Dogg.
Well, Snoop Dogg, I think, is in it.
I thought he was like. Well, hold on. Let's see. Tales from the Hood. Wasn't that like the.
Okay, he didn't do Transamerica, which makes sense because Transamerica isn't about black people.
Spike Lee, in some way, was involved with Tales from the Hood, which IMDb gives it 3 stars, but still 6.3. Tales from the Hood is awesome.
He was executive producer.
Good enough.
Okay. So that means, honestly, he did fuck all. They just wanted his name on it.
Well, he funded it. He gave it money. He was like,
time out. We do have to at least acknowledge the name of the director who directed it, Rusty Cundiff.
Yeah, that can't be a real name.
And he's from Pittsburgh. Fantastic.
George Arthur Rusty Cundiff is an American.
Also starring an actor named Wings Hauser.
Yes, dude.
Okay, this is pretty fantastic.
We need more Medea movies. That's all I'm saying.
More? Isn't like 30 of them?
There hadn't been one in the last fucking year, and it's already April.
Medea is like the new like Charlie Chan, where there's just an ungodly amount of these movies, and you're like, how are people still watching these?
I don't know. I've asked black people that, and they go, just black people love them. I mean, I like them, but you can't watch all of them.
I thought Tyler Perry was dead. I thought he hanged himself.
I don't think he did.
That was Kate Spade.
No, he doesn't have enough self-awareness to kill himself.
He's 50 years old. That's crazy.
Okay, so he'll be dying soon of natural causes.
Yeah, I mean, hypertension's coming for this guy real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's coming for all of us. But wait a minute, he did.
I don't care for Spike. I don't care for Spike Lee, but the one thing he did do was like blast Tyler Perry. Said he was a fucking hack.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
yeah,
I mean,
Boombox did that too. Like, I think to be fair, Tyler Perry's low hanging fruit.
it's again like, okay, I was gonna make pot calling the kettle the N-word, and then low hanging fruit on Tyler Perry. I mean, come on, that's just, guys. These are real low brow, easy jokes right now. All right.
Well,
because Tyler Perry's probably secretly gay. That's what everybody says.
I mean, I always suspected that. I mean, he also produced Precious, which was directed by a gay man.
Oh, Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
That movie is fucking terrible.
I got to be honest with you guys. I don't think I've seen. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually saw a modern movie in a theater, and I know that makes me sound like a fucking pretentious asshole, but like, I don't know. I haven't seen a plot of anything recently that makes me go, I would like to spend my. I mean, I did see Joker, but other than that, it's like, that sounds like I want to spend my money on this contrived, completely predictable, overproduced horseshit.
Well, I mean, I don't go to the movies that often. I've been to the movies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the past 3 years.
Whew. More than me, that's for sure. I don't know.
And a couple, and like at least one of those times I was there because I was getting paid to be there.
Oh,
I went to go see. Oh, you know what? I was hired by Return of Kings to review Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and that's the only reason I saw it.
Gee, like, can we just all agree? I guess this is a good question. That Star Wars is the most, well, up there with Harry Potter, the most obnoxious, stupid. I've never understood it. Even as a dumb, impressionable youngster, I never got into it. I just saw it as so.
I mean, when I was a kid, I liked the first 3, and then Phantom Menace came out, and when I was like 16, I was like, oh, this is not very good. And then I have not seen a single one of those movies since then.
Agreed. I haven't spent a dime.
I think the original 3 movies are good movies, and some of the video games are good. But like, yeah, pretty much anything cinematic Star Wars has been utter shit. And the new fans, like going back to what you were saying, Ben, about like, the people who obsess over the new movies are like incredible. Like my favorite part was people freaking out over the recent movie because it normalized domestic violence or some shit.
What was Yoda beating up on his wife? I didn't. What was going on?
No. I mean, if you haven't seen the new movies, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But basically, a bunch of women, white women, had invested themselves into the female lead, and when she didn't act the way they expected her to act, they all fucking lost their mind.
Okay, but just to be, in my natural state, a fucking contrarian. You know what I thought was pretty sweet? That one weird nerd with the mole who, like, he went viral for crying.
Oh, God, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, but that guy, I'm like, I would probably fucking, if he wasn't scared of alcohol, like, get a drink with that guy and be like, you should get drunk. Drink some whiskey, and then we'll both just cry. It'll be great.
Well, isn't that guy like his whole shtick is doing videos like that, reacting to things?
Yeah, he's a reactor, which is. There has to be, and I've been thinking about this for a while, there has to be there's a great story in there somewhere, because with this coronavirus shit, I've been going down a reactor rabbit hole, and it's an instant comedy, because there's so many videos of like reactors reacting to themselves, and then their friends will react to their reaction of the original reaction. And they always post the videos of themselves. So there's some videos when it's like in the 4th iteration of the reaction, you can't even see the original video because all their fucking Twitch chairs are in every single corner. So it's just like, you might as well be watching talk radio because you can't see what the fuck they're talking about.
Okay.
It's reactception.
But I got a question about this. How is that any different than what I do on DLive, where I just dick around on YouTube for like fucking 9-10 hours, getting drunk and just talking shit on fucking weirdos I find on YouTube?
It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. I'm just saying that I think there has to come a point where like.
So you're calling me trash. You're gonna step into my house. You're gonna step into my house and call me trash.
I'll
see
step in
this?
your house.
You see this? It means not welcome. And it's just a D Live thing. When I lift up my shirt, it's just this D Live.
Right? I will step into your house, sit at your table, eat your food, and then call you trash. So I don't know where you get this idea that I'm somehow
a good person. I don't know where I got it
either.
either.
Of course not. I've never claimed. Look at the shit I write. What's good about me? I'm a terrible
I
person.
thought you were just a nice guy who's worried about his friend in Vermont. But I see your true colors now.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you about your these colors. These colors don't run, son. So you best step up. You're gonna fuck it. What are some other idioms?
Well, these colors constantly run because I have IBS. So that's neither here nor there.
Oh, dude, seriously, me too. I got it's fucking
fun.
Yeah, is yours probably caused from all the years of drinking too, right?
Well, that and garlic.
Oh, I love garlic. Yeah.
Yeah, but it fucks up when I go into restaurants. When I used to.
In the before times, yeah.
In before times, I used to have to pay a bathroom tax.
Oof.
It was not fun. Mine is apparently caused by garlic and onions, which is just a death sentence because that's pretty much what I eat constantly. Just snacking like a Croatian gentleman, which I'm not. But
snacking like Lizzo.
Are you worried about vampires?
No, I'm not worried about vampires.
He's always got garlic around. Why would he fucking worry about vampires?
I actually I've been to Romania and I did attend a vampire funeral, which 100% was put on for the tourists. But like these like Valachian villagers were like, "Oh, this is the old times with how we would do," and I just think it's funny the fake corpse they had, and we were staking it was like this giant old man with the world's most ample nose, and I started to think like in the age of social justice warriors, this is before that. This would have wound up on a blog about how problematic it was that a giant nose corpse was being hammered to death by a bunch of Romanian villagers. Probably
that shit still goes on. Like a couple years ago, there was like a village in Poland that like burned an effigy of a Jew, and and they were not shy about it. They said like, this is a Jew. He's got the curly hair. He's got the money. He's got the big nose. We're gonna have the kids beat him with sticks and then set him on fire.
That reminds me, like one of the favorite videos of this coronavirus lockdown was there was some festival in Mexico, and the kids were beating up a flu pathogen wearing a sun sort of rice patty hat, and they were just beating him up. And I just thought, like, God, non-white racism is so much more blunt.
Did the piñata also have like big buck teeth and glasses? Or is that like a Japanese stereotype?
It was some kid in a fucking costume. It wasn't a piñata. He was like walking on stage, and these little kids in sombreros are like hitting him with a broom.
I don't know. It's fun times.
It's fun, yeah. Eastern Europe, I did appreciate my time over there because you realize there is a sort of a different Europe, almost a Europe in stasis that hadn't really changed like since 1989. But yeah,
roads
Romania
haven't changed since 1989 either.
What's up?
The roads haven't changed since 1989 either.
That's true, and also the in Romania the existence of like Roma only villages was also kind of was eye opening, especially for the more sort of left wing minded group kids on the tour with me. They were like freaking out and thought like it was such a great injustice. And meanwhile, I was making friends with all the Romanian guys by telling jokes about dead wives and fucking murdering stepmothers. They thought that shit was hilarious.
Roma only villages. Well, nobody wants to live around them.
Still driving horse and buggies, what I saw. But then again, Romania is like, I don't know, but I've always heard Albania is pretty abjectly poor, but Romania, once you got outside of Bucharest or some of the like university towns in Transylvania, it was pretty shocking how poor it was.
I've never been to Romania, but like at least the roads here in Albania are pretty nice. I mean, I took a bus from Athens a month ago, and like it was pleasant. Nice modern bus, nice modern roads. It wasn't like going into Armenia where there was a point where we were going like 5 miles an hour for like half an hour because we were driving across a gravel road that had no gravel.
Would you say Armenia was the worst road you've ever been on?
Absolute worst. Just terrible infrastructure in general. Armenians are nice. Armenian women are hot. And Yerevan has like the best American style restaurants in Europe. The roads outside of Yerevan are terrible.
What do they got? Like, is it just potholes and collapsing infrastructure, or is it just
Potholes, buildings falling apart, gravel roads that don't have gravel, roads that haven't been paved since Brezhnev was alive. In Gyumri, which is I spent a week in Gyumri, which is was the city mainly affected by the Spitak earthquake back in the 80s. A lot of the buildings there are still partially collapsed because they just never bothered to rebuild them.
So it's almost like the country's a giant museum to sadness.
Yeah, I said, Yerevan is very modern because, that's where all the money's going. Like all the money from Armenians abroad, it's going into Yerevan, but the rest of the country is just collapsing.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of cool to see.
I like the country more or less. I mean, it's not my favorite country, but it wasn't that bad. But the vagaries of living there were kind of getting on my nerves. One of the things that annoyed me was Armenia is a lot colder than Georgia because it's higher in the mountains. So it snowed there constantly when I was there, and the Armenians refused to do any kind of shoveling or de-icing. So leaving my apartment was always an exercise in frustration because the courtyard had turned into a really shitty skating rink. I actually went to the Armenian Genocide Memorial a couple days before I left because it was one of the last things I didn't see. And I was walking back from the memorial and down the main road, which was completely covered in ice and had no kind of railings or anything. So I slip, I fall. I managed to get up, and then a short time again, I fall again. I pull a Charlie horse and I roll all the way down the hill. Fortunately, there were a couple of Armenian guys who heard me yelling, and they helped me up, which was nice. And my leg wasn't so twisted up that I couldn't walk, but that just kind of symbolizes Armenia right there. Just can't have someone throw salt on the roads ever.
Oh God, my West Virginia redneck is just getting mad listening to that because, fuck, if you don't do that, I mean, where I grew up. You're not going anywhere. You're in a permanent winter quarantine. So.
The Armenians don't seem to mind it. It's just based on their just general level of laziness.
Is it like Thailand, where they did a national poll and said that Thai people's favorite pastime is sleeping?
Basically, kind of. It's Thailand without the sex.
I do find that, and maybe that we can. Because I know we've been so light on the politics in this discussion. I do find that the American work ethic, this whole Anglo thing, is so unique. Because even in other Northern European countries, Germany excluded, I didn't really see it as much. Definitely not in France. I guess that doesn't really count as Northern Europe. But yeah, the Anglo work ethic it's funny to me when I find Americans who expect everybody else to kind of have the same almost insane sort of view of work as we do.
It depends. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of the obsession of working for working. I'm just it's like people who don't fucking clean their apartments and just let the dust bunnies pile up, and the dishes pile up until there's mold in the sink. It's at a certain point you have to fucking do this shit because otherwise you won't be able to function, a couple of days ago, I managed to clean my entire apartment while I was talking to Bryden on the phone.
And I'm sure he knew that you weren't paying attention the whole time.
Oh, it didn't matter. I was drunk, just complaining about actually work. So, oddly enough.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think fetishizing work is definitely a stupidity because, and especially people who grew up in sort of a more of a working class environment, you realize, yeah, work fucking sucks. It hurts. It fills up your time. You don't have free time. So fetishizing work is definitely stupid.
Well, you shouldn't fetishize work. It's fine to fetishize money, though. You ought to need, that old fucking stupid thing. I hate to say it, even work smarter, not harder. Just because you all work all the time, well, that just means you haven't figured out how to make as much money as you need to make and work less. You know, that's what you need to figure out how to do, is like do big deals, not little deals.
Agreed.
Buy Chainlink. We're all going to get rich.
No, I mean, probably not from Chainlink, but you know, I just there's nothing. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with like wanting to have a whole bunch of shit, you know, because that's all you get. It's just stuff. But like, yeah, you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm Kevin Gates. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired. You know, like I work every day. I
got 2 phones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's several reasons to have 2 phones. I don't have 2 phones, but I could see why you might need them.
Kevin Gates, it's like his big song.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But is he even around anymore? I haven't heard much from him.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, I don't give a shit about rap, but because of this whole reactor binge I'm going on, most of them are sort of, you know, young, energetic black men who are really into rap. So I do know that Kevin Gates is still a thing.
Good for him.
Good for him.
But no, I think it's good to like want a bunch of money. I think work is good. I work pretty much every day. I was working before I came on the podcast, just doing like little fucking this and that I didn't get done during the week. But
I've been working like a fucking dog because unlike the Zoomers, I don't get to. My work is essential because I can do it online.
Aha! I'm actually living the neat Zoomer dream because I do have a lot of. Sorry, I do most of my work online, but I also do a lot of part-time work, and my part-time company is paying me 40-hour-a-week wages while staying home.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, by the way, Zoomers, just to rub it in your faces again, I get a Trump check and you don't.
Yeah.
I got that shit.
That's funny. Well, did you hear?
I get a Trump check because I'm not a dependent of my parents.
You know what's really?
I have a job.
Do you know what's really funny? None of us should be bragging too much because that all means we all make under $75,000 a year. So it's like, it's not really much to brag about. All of us are in our 30s, so.
What about shit underneath the ice or underneath the table? That's right. I work at a Mexican restaurant. No, I don't. Pretty much everyone in my family got Trump bucks, so they were all pretty excited. I mean, I don't think that definitely didn't convince them to vote for him. They're going to vote for him regardless. But I do think it was interesting to look at the Twitter react. Like even 50 Cent was posting a picture of himself with like Trump hair. That Trump is going to the left in economics, and people are definitely into it.
Yeah, but he was.
Everyone loves free money.
He was always going to win. This Trump bucks thing isn't going to carry over into November. There's still so much that has to go on. I mean, it's the election's. I don't want to say it's over because then I don't want people to not go vote. But something really big. They've got to cancel the debates if Joe Biden has a fucking chance in the world. I mean, I saw him on I think it was MSNBC just recently, and none of it made any sense what the guy was saying. Everybody knows that. There's nobody that's a Joe Biden guy unless they're going, sure, we'll deal with Joe Biden just to get rid of Trump. And that's like the weird mindset. I posted some Reddit shit on my Instagram of people that are just in the whole mindset of like, call him what he is. He's not funny. He's serious about everything he says. He's a sociopathic narcissist, and he must be removed by any means necessary. And meanwhile, MSNBC is doing a whole article on people posting Boogaloo and going, this is a very serious threat. So like, I just don't understand that whole mindset. Like, what needs to happen is all of these people need to just be told, you're fucking gay. Shut up. Like, you just come back when you're funny or sensible. You calm down, go have a shot of whiskey, and come back and let's talk like people.
I think Terra House should get on the platform of wedgies for everyone. I think we need to bring back the 80s bully aesthetic and just start giving wedgies and swirlies.
Bring back bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the unspoken rule about bullying from, I don't know, just basically being an asshole. My experience is that everyone I've ever known was bullied and was also a bully. Like I never met anyone who wasn't both at the same time or at some point in their lives. So the idea that I've never known anyone who was like a perpetual victim, to be completely honest with you.
Well, that's because that's just dudes being dudes. Like, you know, you
Pretty
get
much,
bullied,
yeah.
you
Fucking
bully.
shit.
Yeah, it's just there's a fucking pecking order, you know? And it's just like, I get bullied by people, and it's like, that's fair. It's pretty funny, you know?
Oh, yeah. I think there's nothing funnier when guys get together and just start shitting all over each other. Sometimes literally, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, duh.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, I don't understand the thing of like nobody who's ever like. Have you ever known anyone your whole life that hasn't been at least razzed or shit upon at some point? I don't. Who are these people who've never taken some flack?
Yeah, I mean that's true. The problem is that
the people who've never taken flack, they have Tumblr blogs.
Oh yes.
No, but in their real life, they've taken all kinds of flack. That's why they're like that. I mean, we need to figure out what's the perfect amount of bullying, because bullied too much or bullied too little, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. If you're bullied too little, you end up, you know, I still can't figure out Ben Shapiro bullied too big, too much or too little. Like, what happened to that guy to where he's just like this walking fucking retard who sounds like an Oompa Loompa who will turn to you and one sentence, a very long run-on sentence, tell you like, I've worked for everything in my life, and I think that all of these people need to work, and it's blah, 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 blah. And then you go, who are your parents? Oh, rich people who fucking gave you everything. I understand that.
Every time I hear Ben Shapiro's voice, I want to junk his head into a toilet in Minecraft.
I don't want to do anything to him besides just go, I would love to have a debate with Ben Shapiro and just let him go on, and I'll just, you know, talk to him like the normal human being that I am. And then when he finally brings up the Holocaust, go, holy shit, I thought you were going to do that sooner. Like, I mean, he's an idiot.
Like, hey, what's your sister's phone number? Let me slide in there.
I mean, also, it's like, or you just agree with him the whole time and you go, you know, I might be a great fit for your family. I mean, I know you have a sister. She's, you know, like, but yeah, I mean, bullied too much or too little. That's the grand question of a lot of these people. Because, like, if you look at, like, trans people, probably bullied too much. That's why they're that way, you know. They're autistic kids that got bullied too damn much. And it's like, fuck, that's not good, you know. But you look at Ben Shapiro, I think maybe he wasn't bullied enough. I think that he was, but he had to have gotten bullied at whatever prep schools and stuff. So I don't know. Like,
yeah, but that prep school bullying, just as an outsider, it's got to be pretty lame. It's like, well, like, what are they bullying you about? Like, oh, your tie's askew. Like, what the fuck would you bully someone in prep school
Your
about?
dad only has pool privileges at the club, not golf privileges.
He went to UCLA. Oh, what a loser.
Carlton, did you hear? Ben Shapiro's parents had to move to Covina.
What's next, Temecula? Oh. Yeah, I think their bullying is probably pretty weak, but it could be projection, class anxiety. I don't know.
I don't. That whole class anxiety shit is just something that pisses me the fuck off. Anytime when anybody starts going, like, the whole class shit, I understand that. But when everybody it starts going into that whole class shit, they back it up with, like, eat the rich. And I'm like, well, no, I'm trying to be friends with those guys. What are you doing? Don't eat them.
Don't ruin my plot, man.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to get up there that way I can be oppressive to you. What the fuck? Like, you're saying I'm oppressive now. Wait until I'm super rich.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, there's no group more oppressive or more that terrifies me more than the striving middle classes, the striving urban intellectual. Because as soon as they get money, it's going to be like mandatory demonic ass rape for the rest of everyone else's life.
Affluent white liberal females, like
pretty much, yeah.
Well, I mean,
look at fucking Michigan. You know, they have a fucking affluent white liberal female governor who is basically being a fascist.
Yeah, everybody's calling her the devil right now.
Well, the Conservative Incorporated call her Whitler because everything has to come back to Hitler.
No. She's Governor Karen. That's who she is. She's Governor Karen.
I love the butthurt over the Karen meme, not because it's implicitly like making fun of white women, but because it's making fun of women exclusively.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's the difference between also, old man here, what's the difference between Karens and what's that? Awfuls, AWAFLs? Another thing I've been
It's pretty
seeing.
much kind of the same thing.
Same thing. All right.
What's an
I can get
Just that Karen specifically refers to like ones who are like middle aged.
Okay, like older, like let me talk to your manager, soccer mom.
Yeah, like someone like Amy Klobuchar.
Oh,
Or like, if you recall, like the Permit Patty and and all that stuff, Barbecue Becky.
Permanent Patty. I thought you were talking about the Irish.
Oh, Peppermint Patty. You remember her from the fucking.
She's the original Karen.
She's the original
she's
lesbian.
She's not a Karen. She's a lesbian.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just trying to see the difference.
Yeah, that was always weird with like going around. Oh, okay, thank you, sir. It's like what was going on there? Oh, it was just lesbianism.
Charles Schultz lesbianism.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wouldn't look into that.
Well, wasn't like the guy that created Wonder Woman? Wasn't he like a big BDSM fetishist, and that's why with the whole truth rope and the cuffs and all that crazy shit?
I hope so. That's fucking.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy who created Wonder Woman was like a big sadomasochist.
That empowering female warrior, huh? With the whip and the cuffs. That's fucking hilarious. I hope that's true. I fucking hope that's true.
I'm looking it up. I'm going to give you the name. Okay, William Moulton Morrison, I guess, invented an earlier type of the lie detector. Was a psychologist, so he was definitely into some weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be suspect of anybody that wants to go into a career of hearing everyone's deepest, darkest secrets. Like, don't trust that guy.
Marston's Wonder Woman is an early example of bondage themes that were entering popular culture in the 1930s. Boom.
Wow. That's Marston, huh? That's weird.
He also said that female nature is being more capable of submission emotion.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, that's the big brain behind Wonder Woman.
I wonder what it means, because she's got that golden lasso of truth. He must have had like something where he could like not fucking lie to women, or he always figured he was bad at lying to women.
Or he was giving them cocaine to make him tell them all his darkest secrets. Maybe that was the golden lasso was like the heroin needle.
Maybe it's just that every time his wife found out that he lied about something, she just beat him with a whip.
It could be. Maybe it's like early autoerotic asphyxiation that he was like hanging himself in the closet and jerking off, and he wanted to sanitize it for the masses.
I definitely would go to therapy if they just gave me cocaine. But now I guess they kind of do that. They're like, here, take this. Except it stopped being like narcotics, and they're just like, here, take an SSRI. That's what's going on with this? They're like, oh, it'll just make you depressed, and then like, assuming you don't kill yourself, you'll be here for years. So
it'll make you depressed and chubby, whereas cocaine will make you like, I don't know, like a wrestler in the 80s.
Cocaine will just make you fucking thrilled as shit, and you tell people like, you know what? Actually, my dad's not that bad of a guy. Makes sense. All right, this is fine. Yeah, I'll come back next week. More of that though, right? We're doing the
Fair House is pro cocaine. We're going out on the line here.
Well, I'm fucking pro cocaine. I'm pro drugs. Like I think drugs are a great thing as long as you don't get addicted to them, don't steal for them, don't lie for them, and don't die of them. I think they're okay.
Do you also wear a permanent bow tie? Just out of curiosity.
I would love a bow tie. Actually, I can't tie them.
I feel you twisting it as we speak.
Dude, I would.
Yellow and black, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I'm black as shit. I'm gonna go drink. I have some Hennessy. I think I'm gonna drink today.
You can't wear a bow tie, Bryden. That'll make you a pussy.
No,
it will. Note that Tucker Carlson didn't become based until he took the bow tie off.
No, but think of this. Here's what I'm thinking. Completely different outfit, right? So I'm thinking long jacket, cane, big top hat, bow tie, plus I got that pot belly. I'm fucking Mr. Monopoly, motherfucking Mr. Fat Cat, all right?
Or Boss Hog.
Yeah.
For some reason I was visualizing. For some no, I was visualizing you looking more like Policus from Rayman 2 because you're also short.
Well, I mean, whatever works. I didn't see Rain Man 2. What was that? Rain Man 2 Tard Harder? What the fuck? Who saw Rain Man 2?
No, Rayman 2, the video game.
Oh, okay. Completely different guy. Not Rain Man 2. I didn't know that was a thing.
No. Rain Man. No, Rain Man was a movie about the Tard. Rain Man was a failed MKUltra project.
Well, okay, explain that before I just riff on Rain Man 2 for a little bit, because
you haven't. I'm guessing you haven't played it. The original one was MKUltra because it's all about like Rain Man's in a fucking forest full of giant mushrooms and band camp stuff, and he's like a dude with a huge nose and he doesn't have any limbs, and he can.
I've seen him.
Yeah, it's serious drug shit. I dare you to look at a sketch of Rain Man or like a shot from the original game and tell me with a straight face that the creator of this shit is not dealing with some schizophrenic trauma or the fact that the CIA force-fed his mother LSD when she was pregnant.
No, it just kind of looks like a dumb video game to me, dude.
It's a CIA. It's a failed MKUltra project. They saw all like the mushrooms in Super Mario, and were like, "We got to get in on that and start programming people." So they got this dude that was abused in the womb, and they had him to make this shit. And the sequel's even more fucking crazy because it's about seeding all those ideas that were in the '60s about how human beings are evil and we all need to return to nature. Because you'll know in Rain Man 2, all of the evil bad robot pirates are all into technology, but the good guys are living in harmony with nature, and they use magic and rain and all this shit.
You mean like every fucking fantasy thing? That's like Dungeons and Dragons campaigns and shit. No, sorry, I gotta tell you, that's you gotta come up with a better plot for that one. I should have just gone off on Rain Man 2.
Yeah,
that
was working up to something. I thought that had some legs.
Yeah. No, instead we got.
I'll have to write about this. When I can play the game and have my brain fucked again.
Yeah, man. Well, some of the best stories ever have been written by fucking schizophrenic retards. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, you would also be involved in a already well-established genre. I do remember on some like Wingnut website there was an article about how one of the Resident Evils is essentially a cover for the whole like the idea that we're run by a secret Jewish conspiracy. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
Yeah,
that would have been a better story than like every Resident Evil like 4 through 6.
I'm trying to think which Resident Evil it was. It's the one where there's like some fucking hidden. It has nothing. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Umbrella Corporation. It's about like some secret order. I don't remember.
I think it's Resident Evil 4 then.
Yeah. About how that's all about, exposing the Zionist cabal.
God.
Well, there's also the one that like, what's the one with the serial killer? And there was that whole Reddit about how it's actually about him trying to get back his foreskin. That's another one.
Silent Hill 4?
Silent Hill 4, yeah. That's all of this. He became a serial killer because he found out that he was mutilated as a baby and he wants his foreskin back.
Oh, God.
Oh, that game sucks so much.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. That's dude internet. That would be a great part of just dude internet. You never find that on lady internet. Not a
No, dude internet is obsessed with foreskins, like, I guess.
Oh, those are my favorite Twitter accounts. Back when I was on Twitter. Just like, I like how some people pick a thing and go, that's my thing. I'm going to advocate for this. And like the foreskin anti-circumcision advocate guys are the funniest ones. I'm like, that's a weird one. Like, I see kind of where you're coming from. I'm like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. That's a weird practice. I agree. But, well, what's done is done.
Right.
Please stop posting about penises all the time. That's in a non-funny way. Post about dicks all you want if it's going to be hilarious. But like article after article.
I mean, there's that Gregory Malchuk guy who's like, I like him, but I had to unfollow him on Twitter because it's nothing but pictures of mutilated penises.
That's kind of awesome.
I'm not looking at pictures of mutilated penises.
How many followers? I don't know who that is. How many followers does he have?
I forget. Like he's on the Daily Brap sometimes. Like I was introduced to him by Joe the Boomer.
And he just posts pictures of mutilated dick.
Because he's an anti-circumcision activist.
That's fucking awesome. It'd be a better Instagram, but you can't get away with it on Instagram. That's fucking hilarious.
I've got a funny story in this vein. Like around 6 or 7 years ago, like Return of Kings put out an article on fake STD tests for men. Like it was a satirical thing. Like Roosh was offering to sell people fake STD tests, sell men fake STD tests to satisfy their girlfriends. So I posted like a comment on it, like saying like the fake STD test really works, because I have a habit of sleeping with homeless prostitutes, and I occasionally see like discharge coming out of my penis. But the fake STD test, I got that, and my girlfriend was satisfied. But a bunch of people actually thought I was being serious. And like years ago, there was some psycho on Twitter like who would send me like long tweet threads of penises that had to be amputated due to pus from having sex with heroin addicts. I have a thing with mutilated penises. They always seem to find
I was going to say, Matt, there seems to be a theme, and it all comes back to you. Maybe you like mutilated junk. Maybe you should be the horror writer. I don't know why I'm here.
What if all of the monsters and Tremors were penises?
The angry souls of those penises circumcised too young.
Yeah, be careful when you gaze into the abyss, because the abyss might just turkey slap you.
Is that what BBC stands for? Be careful. They're just warning women. Hey, be careful. I'm writing that one down. That's funny. Be careful.
Well, maybe the horror of the Tremors is the fact that they're all covered in unclean schmegma, and that's why everyone's just so frightened of them.
Oh, dude, I didn't know what schmegma was until I was probably like 26 or 27, and like it was just the internet that I found out. It was like, check this out, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad about the circumcision thing. I'm good. That's fine. Anything that prevents that, I'm pretty good with.
You're technically supposed to have it because it, keeps you like the penis. The head of your penis is supposed to be like your eyeball.
I need to know about penises. I know I got one. I know the balls sweat a bunch. You got sweaty balls. And other than that, not much you need to know. As long as it's still there, doesn't have any marks on it, I think it's good.
Doesn't smell like a rotting fish. I mean, that's...
Nah, it just smells like I've been running, but I haven't. Just like, because I haven't, I've just been sitting for a long time because I keep the heat on. So it's sweaty balls.
Also, Brian, you can't run because you'll get a heart attack.
Okay, yeah, it's the fucking pot-bellied calling the kettle black. Fucking fat.
Hey, I can run, dude. Like
that's
I have.
Cheeseburger calling the hot dog fat.
Yeah.
Dude, Brian, you were telling me about like you were getting like random chest pains.
Yeah, I always get random chest pains.
I don't have those.
Well, I have fucking severe goddamn anxiety because my life's really stressful, Matt.
And he does cocaine, so that could be a thing.
Also has a lot to do with it, Matt.
Yeah, a little bit of that angina.
Yeah, a little bit of that vagina.
That's right.
It can also be due to your habit of stuffing your face with fast food.
Listen, I haven't had fast food for a long time.
Okay,
that wasn't my fucking doing. The government decided for me.
What's your fast food of choice?
Ooh, it used to be Taco Bell, but they did me wrong. So
fuck you. I maybe this could be a Terror House piece, but I worked at Taco Bell for a grand total of 2 weeks, and in that time I learned some very interesting information. And I think my contract swore to secrecy is run out, so I think I can say it.
I worked at Taco Bell for like 6 months or 6 to 8 months when I was like a kid. You know what the secret things I learned? They let you smoke pot in the back with your managers.
Oh yeah, that just goes without saying. I was going to say that. the beef that I routinely worked with was grade E. After the health inspection, and Alpo dog food, for your curiosity, is grade D. So Alpo dog food has a better meat than the beef at Taco Bell.
Okay, that could be one of two things. One, either that's because that is a rumor that was going around for a while. But if you Google Taco Bell's thing, they combated that rumor.
Did they really?
Yeah, by showing all of the ingredients in their beef, and even because of customer fucking, that wanted to make people happy, upgraded the shit. So it's 98% pure beef. The rest of it is soy product and water.
Corporate malfeasance. I refuse to believe it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, look. And now here's something people might not know about it, but they probably do, because everybody worked at Taco Bell for at least a week in their fucking lifetime by the time they hit 30-something. Good times, bad times, everybody at least worked there once. They take the beef. I assume they still do it this way. It's been fucking forever. I'm old now. But they, you take the beef packets from the freezer, you put them in the hot water, all right? And you put them in there until they plump the fuck up. And then that's where you get the beef from.
Well, speaking of plumping the fuck up, this whole conversation is doing that to me.
Gross.
And grow fat.
Yeah, the whole transition from mutilated dicks to beef. I mean, what else could a man want?
That's shit, dude. I don't know.
Shit too, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, well, it's I don't know. I mean, the thing is about Taco Bell is they did me wrong. With just some of their asshole employees, it was horrible. I was accosted by their employees. It was like a scene out of that one movie with I don't want to get into it, but you know which one I'm talking about, probably. That one movie, those damn dirty Taco Bell employees. But I didn't go there. I didn't. That Charlton Heston movie. I didn't go there for a long time. And I was like, all right, Burger King. And you can only have Burger King's fries, which are okay, I guess, so many times before you just, I'd have to upgrade. Like Chipotle, I guess, is okay, But I did have Taco Bell not too terribly long ago, and it was just not good, and I was bummed. So my time away from it meant I don't have that need for it anymore. So I have no fast food restaurant anymore. It's depressing.
Have you considered Hardee's?
We don't have those around here. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They got them in Northern Ohio.
There's no Hardee's. Carl's Jr., I guess that's the other name for it, right?
Yeah, it's out
west.
West.
They're actually two separate restaurants.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they used to be totally separate, but then Carl's Jr. bought Hardee's and just kind of rebranded Hardee's. But they have different menus and shit, and they're in different parts of the country. Carl's Jr. is a West Coast thing, and Hardee's is East Coast.
We're back to that old rivalry.
Yeah. With the exception of Wyoming, which has both Hardee's and Carl's Jr. in different parts of the state.
Wyoming is God's country. I think the one YouTube star who has helped me through this coronavirus lockdown more than anyone is the great Gothic King Cobra JFS, and I appeal to all Terror House readers to go out and watch Gothic King Cobra JFS. He's a practicing wizard. He is a mean guitar player, and he has the dental hygiene of a medieval serf. So God bless him and give him a big shout out.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. Wyoming sucks, though.
Oh, well. Neither here nor there.
Wait, I thought you were talking about that one. You talking about that one pretty famous punk guy who's those infamously fucking terrible teeth that everybody loves? I can't remember.
Oh, Kane McGowan?
Yeah. Is that I went to pee.
He's got fake chompers, and it's the shit of nightmares if you look up a picture of it. He's got fake chompers, and they're rotting too because he's not even taking care of them.
Yeah, no, that guy, well, he's got more money than all of us, so it's he's doing something right.
But yeah, he had probably. I mean, when your teeth are so bad, even the British press make fun of it. You have just horrific dental hygiene.
Didn't you get those fixed eventually?
Yeah, he's got fake teeth, and I'm looking at a picture right now. One of the fake teeth is gold capped. What the fuck? This guy hates teeth.
I mean, maybe that's his style, you know.
He's just like, yeah, let my teeth rot.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, eventually that ends up being, you know,
That's
it gets
true.
into your
That's
head
true.
and then you die. Like, if you get a you can't fuck around with tooth infections, man. You get that's why, like, in Castaway, you had to take that abscess tooth out. Because if you don't do that, the infection spreads to your brain and you just fucking die.
Or your heart, like that was like a big thing I didn't know. Is like that's one of that could cause a heart attack as a fucking rotten tooth. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
What?
Dude.
Yeah.
It's no joke. Yeah, if you got you got a tooth that's like pretty not good, like you should get it checked out as soon as possible.
How does a rotten tooth affect
connects
the heart?
right into your blood, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, no, it goes right into your blood, and if your shit gets fucked up in your blood, you're kind of a dunzo. Like, you can't fuck around with that. That's one thing that I think is fucked up, especially fucked up with our healthcare system. Is like, just the like dental stuff that's not available is like pretty basic. Like, because it's just because I didn't know that until not too terribly long ago. It can fucking kill you. It's like life-threatening shit, and dentists are not covered by most crap.
Yeah, I've never understood why medical and dental insurance are separate. Like, I would feel like should be a package deal, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an insurance guy. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I mean, I've got both, but like it's annoying to me that I've got to just tell me like, here's how much we're gonna fuck you each time. Don't be like, and let me itemize how much shit you're not gonna use every month that we're gonna take out. We got to get rid of that crap and just go with health savings accounts. But that was a conversation for another day. You know, health savings accounts are a good fucking idea until you get people who are like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. It's like, oh well, you're just gonna die in the emergency room floor, I guess. You can't fix the healthcare system. That's it. You just can't fix it. They've set it up in this terrible way. You can't fix it. You're gonna give everybody free healthcare, and then they're gonna be running over here for everything. Oh, I got a cold. Then you're gonna be like, oh, I broke my leg, and they're gonna go, sir, this man has a cold. That's an exaggeration. That's not true, but it's not good.
Yeah, I waded into the healthcare debate many years ago, and I came to the conclusion that it's all sort of nihilistic in the sense that I don't feel like there's any right answer, because it seems like one shit show after the other.
There's just not much you can do about it. I mean, frankly, the only thing that you could do about it is a two-tiered system. I mean, I think if you have more money, you should have more immediate and better access because you're willing to pay for it. You know, money should be able to buy anything. You know, that's it. You don't. Why else would you make money?
Slaves?
No, I don't think you should be able to buy slaves. I think that's wrong. But like, way to come at it
You
like
said
an Obama.
anything.
No. Way to come at it like an Obama voter that you are, Matt. Thank you. You Obama-loving asshole. All the time he does this because he loves Barack Obama so much that he's so mad
You
Barack
mean
Obama's not in
Obama?
office. Yeah, Obama. Exactly.
No bummer.
Yeah, no, Matt loves Barack Obama so much. He always is like, fucking money's not real, and like you should healthcare for all.
Okay, Drumpf.
Well, no,
Oh,
let's,
shit.
yeah. Well, let's take for a second and let's ask the idea: is healthcare a human fucking right? I don't necessarily know that it is. I'm open to fucking discussion on it. I'm open for people to tell me it is when they're not just screaming in my face, healthcare and housing and jobs are a human right. It's like, what? That's not convincing me. It just makes you sound like a fucking asshole and irrational, which means I'm going to goad you into going like, actually, we should charge more for healthcare. You know, like, you got to...
I'd also be interested in the discussion of like, what is a human right to begin with?
Sure.
Because it seems to me the idea of a universal right, I mean, it's a good platitude, but clearly it doesn't exist because it's contingent upon culture. It's a contingent upon where you grew up. It's, you know, what, and sometimes even in supposedly open society, it also depends on what politics you subscribe to. So yeah, I don't even know if there is such a thing as basic human rights.
I mean, well,
At least it's talked about.
I mean, it does. You're completely right. It does contend upon culture. It's like, well, I always bring up with like the dog eating thing in China versus here. You know, it's like morally, like if you wanted to just be cool about everything, like fair about everything. Morally, it's not much different than what we do over here, except we just have decided that that's gross. Now, I do think that that's gross and shitty. And I think it's inhumane and cruel or whatever, but just to be like, well, that's just how they do that, and like, you're a piece of shit. So over there in China, they like to just harvest everybody's organs. Homeless, prisoners, anything. That's what they like to do over there. Okay, is that fucking right or wrong? Well, I think it's fucking wrong. I think it's not good, unless they've, like, it's a whole country of child molesters. And even then, probably live organ harvesting is not exactly the coolest thing to do. But, like, don't they got, like, healthcare or what the fuck ever? You know, it's... I don't know. I'm just tired of white women telling me what is, like, required to be a human being, who have not done any fucking thought on it. They've never even gotten stoned and gone like, oh, but what if? Instead, they just got stoned and were like, it's bad that.
And if you believe it isn't bad, or at least have some different opinion, then there's something morally defective about you. That's where I sort of like.
Well,
the whole idea.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but like that assumes that I don't want everybody in the world to have access to health care. That would be ideal if nobody went hungry, everyone had health care, and then we all got along. That would be fucking ideal, wouldn't it? Like, it thinks that, like, I'm some evil guy at the top of a fucking tower going like, yes, fight! Fight and die! That's fucking dumb.
So you're saying that you're the bad guy from the Smurfs. Okay, duly noted.
Yeah, like that. I'm not Gargamel.
That's his name. Forgetting what his name. Yeah, but no, I do think that. I just don't get into these arguments about like. What bothers me is a lot of people who make arguments about what's morally reprehensible are people who don't seem to follow any clear guidelines on morality in their own life. So I usually don't give a fuck what they have to say. So that's just my experience. But I definitely get what you're saying about that. There seem to be a class of people, normally white women, who feel like they've already reached a certain point where they're infallible and that they can therefore dictate what is good for the rest of the world, what's especially good for those nearest to them. Oh, that makes sense.
And why are they the ones why have white women taken it upon themselves to go, I am the great negotiator between the evil cis white males and all of these POC, oppressed minorities, who are clearly all the same and have the same interests, just being oppressed by these white males. The whole thing is dumb. I think we need more like black men to just tell white women to shut the fuck up. I think we all collectively, if men all got together of all races and creeds and lifestyles and what have you, collectively told white women to shut the fuck up, the world might be a little bit better. And then we have to do it to black women too, because they're immediately going to go, we're here to solve the problem, and it'll be like, not you either. We're all going to solve the problem. And we found out it's staying away from each other. We're all going to go grill in our respective quadrants of the world, and we'll leave each other alone. That'll be great. Plus, probably rich people have got to go.
Because Dudes Rock 2020.
That's right, dude.
Right. That's right. That's the name of my forthcoming Terror House paperback, Dudes Rock 2020.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes.
Can you imagine, like, if wars were just handled on COD, you know? Like, if we got rid of all the fucking elite, you know, we just let guys run the world and let just guys be guys. We just be like, fuck.
Just dudes being dudes.
Iran just fucking, dude, they won. I was so close. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't try to fucking. All right, well, I guess we give them some resources this month, and we'll see them at the next match next month. It'd be an easier world.
Yes, then the NEETs would become our new elite.
Oh, fuck no, I'm not having that.
That's if we lived in this Call of Duty or Battlefield 1 world, that would be our new elite.
No, they'd be the new soldiers. We just lost.
But they would be the new technocrats, because they would have the skills honed over a millennium to defeat the enemies online.
Yeah. Let's just do Ready Player One immediately. Like that's that was a stupid fucking movie.
What was that? Was there also like some stupid Adam Sandler movie where aliens were like 80s video game characters, and we had the people who saved us were gamers because they knew how to beat those games?
Oh fuck me! What was that? I think you're thinking of
Ender's Game.
Adam Sandler. Yeah, I don't think it was Adam
Pixels
Sandler.
or something like that. So I guess that seems to be a fantasy that like the gamers will one day save us. Maybe we should make that a reality.
Well, you mean fantasy of a bunch of fucking nerds? Yeah, I mean they also fantasize about being dwarf clerics and shit, dude. Like,
yeah.
I hate nerds. I really do. I hate nerds so much. I respect autistes, but like they still should be made fun of. But like, I hate nerds. I can't stand nerds. Anybody who fucking is like, I'm really good at this thing. It's like, it better be fucking playing sweet guitar solos or jumping dirt bikes, because otherwise you're a fucking geek.
Yeah, no, the nerd menace is something that we have not dealt with in too long of a time. I do think the dominance of nerds in popular culture and pretty much everything we consume has to be addressed and corrected.
Well, I mean, every time you turn on the TV, it should just be Slayer and just dirt bike competitions, man.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god. And like sleeveless shirts. What the fuck do shirts? I'm here to cut costs for all men's apparel. No more sleeves. There you go.
Yeah. And Rhodesian style, like little stubby shorts.
Yeah, dude, do that. Fucking, Doc Martens, except not expensive and stupid. Like, that'd be good. And, okay, look, suits are cool. But suits are, for the upper echelon, all right? The guys who aren't nerds. If I see a nerd wearing a suit, it's not good. Nerds have ruined suits. There used to be cool guys who wore suits. James Bond, that's a guy. Think about that. Now, who do you got? You got, guys at fucking CPAC. Nerds.
I feel like Bryden is working his way up to talk about Matt's preference for suits. I might want to.
I love suits.
Well, you were talking about nerds wearing suits. I thought that was very pointed.
Oh no! I just hate like all the fucking CPAC nerds. You see like guys running around with like bottle coat glasses. They're like, John McCain, he's a butthole. Did you know Diamond and Silk are just about to speak? MAGA.
Lady MAGA is right up next. Yeah. It's the Republican, morning zoo radio host sort of creature.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, sort of. If honestly, when I think of the CPAC nerds, I think of Benny Johnson times 1,000. Like that's what it is. Like,
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything too terrible about that guy since I've never met him. But I will say, from what I know of that guy, he is a Zoomer and a nerd. So yeah, no thank you to that guy. I think he's a nerd. I think you would get mad if I called somebody a retard.
Oh, I'm sure he's sort of the Jared Holt, that same category of nerdy.
Jared Holt's not even a nerd. He's just gay. Like he's just like, and not even like the cool way of where,
he's a
like,
dork.
Yeah. Okay. There's a difference between dorks and nerds, I guess.
He looks like Napoleon Dynamite. He's a fucking dork.
Yeah. No, dorks have like a social anxiety disorder, and nerds are just like scared to talk to girls.
Either way, I don't think either one of them should have any hands near the levers of power ever.
No.
That's just my opinion. I think they should be consigned to some sort of empty cave somewhere, or at least be very marginal in the culture, as opposed to running every fucking film, everything in the world is like, oh, I'm a nerd.
I think instead of might makes right. We ought to do like irony makes right. That'll be good. Or snark makes right. Snark makes right still gives women like a chance. If we do snark makes right, there you go. Because I bet some snarky I like snarky motherfuckers. I think that's fucking the funniest way. People are snarky. I'm like, it's pretty good. I like that. But yeah, I can't have people like fucking Benny Hill, running all over the place with a dumb red tie. It's a clip on. You know, he's like, look, you get this Donald Trump meme? Look at him. He's like,
Political memers who are connected to an actual party are about as funny as cancer.
Well, cancer's fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah, compared to that, that's true. Good point.
Well, I mean, think about it. You lose all your hair. You'd be like, why don't they just call it Jason Statham disease?
I feel like your criticisms are very pointed. I don't know what we're...
Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, yeah, it is funny that Matt's bald. I do think it's bald people are funny. But just call it Jason Statham disease. You know, he's bald.
It's true, but does he have cancer?
I don't know. A lot of his movies are fucking cancerous. I mean, he's not that great of an actor. I don't know why he keeps getting work.
Because he's got
Jason Statham.
Because he's got an accent and he can do like flippy shit.
Because I can do this voice. Because I'm Jason Statham. Jason Statham in the joy of cooking. Like, today, we're gonna make scrambled eggs.
Well, I mean, I feel like we already have that demographic covered with Gordon Ramsay. The kind of
Gordon Ramsay's amazing, dude. Gordon Ramsay, I wouldn't mind if Gordon Ramsay just like, if I was walking down the street and Gordon Ramsay like just kicked a handicapped kid, I would be like, what did that kid do to piss off Gordon so much?
Did you ever see Bap's take on Gordon Ramsay, that his show is like the most objectively white supremacist thing on TV?
No, but that
because
sounds
it's
retarded.
Well, Bap is, Bronze Age Purge, talk about how all the show is a white English speaking guy going around to ethnic restaurants telling them how dirty they are. Okay,
actually, that's a pretty solid take. That's hilarious.
So it's like he's like a softer version of Frank Hassel.
I was just introduced to Frank Hassel, and the only thing, not like I don't know him, or I just introduced to his videos, and the first thing I thought was like, oh, holy shit, you can't fucking do that. This guy's gonna get arrested. You can't do that. You're gonna get into trouble, dude. What are you doing? No, stop that. It's funny, but stop it. He's just
Frank Hassel is incredible.
He's great. He's just fucking white fucking boot crew type of thing. I'm just like, you're going to get into trouble. I can't stop watching this, though. It's really funny. You're going to get in trouble. I know. He's funny.
I like the way we've put it. Frank Hassel is like the bit in Fight Club where they're challenged to start a fight and lose, but Frank can't complete the challenge because he never loses.
No, that guy's funny, man. I think he's funny. That the whole like thank me for my service thing is incredible. Like it's the best thing it's the best interaction I've ever seen human beings have. Thank me for my service. Thank you for your service. It's like nobody has ever fucking displayed how gay that interaction of thank you for your service is. Like and compulsory that these like just fucking people have to thank you for your service. Then when fucking Frank Hassel says thank me for my service and the guy fucking does it, it's incredible. It's so fucking funny. But he's gonna get arrested, dude. That's a GoFundMe waiting to happen, you know. Like, it's so funny though.
And I love the one where he's fucking in the gym and like the short guy throws him out and he's calling him a manlet as he goes out the door.
Oh yeah.
You're like as tall as my mom. And he just says that like he's blowing a vape cloud in the dude's face.
You definitely cannot do that. I don't know what state you can't do that.
He's like, okay, I'm calling the police, and he's going out the door. He's like, yeah, call the police. I'm breaking the law. Can't call him short, midget man.
That shit's. I'm a fan. I am a fan. That shit's fucking hilarious. Good God.
Well, I mean, as a comedian, I would think that you would appreciate the idea that like the funniest shit going on right now is online. I mean, most like comedy that we're supposed to like actually sucks.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think podcasts have overtaken stand-up just because like it's. Stand-up just kind of stand-up is no no comparison to like doing a podcast. Like there's no real energy. Like there's energy in this podcast. There's the energy I feel in this podcast tonight, but it's not the same as like going up on stage and fucking bombing is like one of my favorite things, to be honest with you. But getting that immediate reaction, and then like it's a different feeling. But like it's just now you've got to be in a room with a bunch of fucking assholes, and I just don't like it. No, not in the podcast. Well, in the podcast you always have to be in a room with a bunch of assholes, but you know who the fuck they are.
True.
That whole like there's always a fucking piece of shit, and the comedians are not good. I mean, anybody who wants to get into stand up now got into stand up because they were listening to podcasts. You know, not because they like grew up liking stand up or something like that. They grew up listening to podcasts, and it sucks. I mean, it's dumb. It's easier. Like I can just podcast without fucking pants on. And it's not that big of a deal. Like, I have to, like, go downtown. I have to fucking go to a thing. I gotta wait, not get too drunk, and I'm probably too drunk. I gotta do my stupid set. Same crap that I've said 1,000 times fucking before. You know, throw in a couple new ones that I've been working on, see how those work, try to play with those right there. And then go. It's like, it's so much easier to just go, okay, fuck it, I'm funny. I got a podcast. And then I get it's like the same cathartic release. That why would you even fucking bother going through all this bullshit? What, so you can meet comedians? Why? They're fucking shitty people who have bad relationships to their fucking parents who can't even get a job. Why would you do that? You can just meet those people through podcasting.
I totally agree with everything you said, except the point where you said you're funny. I think I have a problem with that.
No, I agree with you.
I think that's a bit too far fetched.
Yeah, I mean, I got an Amazon package. I'm not funny. Maybe that's another reason I fucking don't do stand up. It's because just fucking why go through all that effort just so people can go, oh, you're not funny, but I can just have you on here and go, we're not going to publish your book.
That's true. Good point. It's a really good point, actually. Why look for validation when you know you're never going to get it?
Yeah, or just like, why look for validation from a group of strangers when you can just find a small niche on the fucking internet and get that same, and just get that same release, and you get the same people that are hateful, you get the same little crowd of people that like you, and like every comedian has a podcast now anyway, because there's tons of working comedians that just go around. I'm friends with some of them, and they go around and nobody knows who the fuck they are. They get work doing this, and that's, you know, God bless them, and that's great. But unless they have a podcast for people to follow, nobody ever fucking hears from them again. Because none of these guys are ever going to go and be on fucking Conan. They're never going to go be on Fallon. So it's just, you could just build a whole fucking thing, if you're one of those guys who are actually funny, on the fucking internet. It just doesn't make sense. Like, all comedy has stopped because of this fucking lockdown. And I refuse to call it fucking quarantine anymore, by the way. I'm drunk now. I refuse to call it quarantine anymore, by the way, because quarantine is for sick people. I'm not sick. And none of us are sick. We probably already had this shit. The whole thing pisses me off. Can't wait for the second round of this shit, Matt. Can't wait for the second round of it to come in. That way everybody's going to go, see, Bryden's a fucking idiot asshole. See. And there will be a few deaths and it will be fine. But they're inflating the fucking deaths of the whole damn thing even to begin with. I'm not the asshole this time. This is one thing in the world I've ever been right about, is this ended up not being that big of a fucking deal. All they did was steal all our money and then hand us $1,200 and go, there you go. Fuck that.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I saw this on Twitter just now. Apparently someone in the Trump administration compared the people who are protesting the lockdowns to Rosa Parks.
That's stupid. Don't ever do that.
Well, people are mad about it.
Yeah, I understand why. That's a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, it's kind of insulting too, because it implies that the people protesting lockdowns are frauds.
Well, I don't even want to get into that whole thing. It's just like, we have a cultural standard of like, here's Rosa Parks. Don't do that. It's the same as calling shit Hitler. You know?
Yeah.
Why is everything? Why is the spectrum of shit Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King or Hitler?
Yeah, it's because we're and I think I would hope you guys would both agree with me. We're ruled by historical illiterates.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Sometimes literal illiterate. Yeah, it's people who every if it's bad, everything is 1938 Munich. If it's good, it's 1960s Alabama, and everything in between is somehow connected to some British woman's fucking story about fucking wizards. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, god damn, like I don't get it. I would add it's Hitler, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., and then a bunch of stupid talk about fucking Slytherins and Hufflepuffs and I don't know what.
And Darth Vader.
Oh yeah.
Nothing makes me want to kill myself more. I mean, I think about just like I went to bed thinking about, and I woke up this morning thinking about fucking blowing my goddamn brains out. You know, about just how easy it would be, and about how all of this would be over. And I'm like justifying it in my brain. I'm like, if you do it, it's just that means you never have to do anything again. And like my life is objectively good is the thing. Like I'm doing great. I'm thriving, you know. And now I'm looking down the barrel of not what I want to look down the barrel of, but I'm like, how do I make money off of the fucking next year, which is going to be economically fucking wrecked because of the way people are acting. You know, this isn't going to be the end of this. There are going to be some states that reopen and then decide to close again, all of that crap, all based off of fucking nonsense. You know, so it's like, okay, how do I make money? You know, it's what am I supposed to do? And
look down that barrel, I guess, more and more.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to try to be smart about it. Like, I mean, I'm looking into whole new fucking opportunities of how to fucking make money. But it's frustrating. And, like, how easy would it be and how great would it be just to be like, and then it's just done. You're like, you don't have to do. Because think about it. You're like, oh, but this person would care and that person. Well, if they care that much, they can fucking kill themselves too, and then they don't have to deal with it. You know, you just die. Like, this is an option for you as a human being. You could just kill yourself, and then you're good. I don't know.
Again, we're bookended by darkness. I enjoy it. It's very fitting, I find. Very fitting.
Oh, dang. I don't know. I don't like it.
Man, this podcast has gone on for a long time.
Oh
yeah, I can hear. I have been hearing Matt yawn. I hopefully this has been a good one. I've had fun. I hope I didn't bore you guys, but this is great.
I've been having fun. I just am a little tired.
Well, it was going to be my suggestion that we go on for 15 more minutes because then we will officially hit 3 hours.
Okay, what do we talk about? The book? Well, we already talked about the book. The book is good. Go buy the book when it comes out.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm really excited about the artwork because I really dig because Matt Lawrence, right? He's done the artwork for all of the books so far, right?
Yes. We'll be unveiling the cover art tomorrow.
Oh, it's awesome! Yeah, all of his stuff is really fantastic. I'm a big fan, so I'm definitely stoked about that for sure.
I'd send it to you now, but he's still finalizing it.
Yeah.
Well, he's asleep. He's asleep right now. So.
Is he?
Well, yeah. It's like 3 a.m. in Thailand.
That doesn't mean in Asia. That doesn't mean shit. But no, that's just one thing I'm definitely pretty stoked about because I'm a fan of his work, and also I don't have any like preconceived. I was thinking the other day because somebody asked me like, "What do you think it should look like?" I'm like, I actually have no idea, so I'm kind of coming into this without any wants, desires. So it should be. I'm probably going to be happy either way, but I'm just sort of excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, I've taken a look at what he's posted. It's got a mashup between like a black metal theme and a Lovecraftian type theme, and it also alludes to one of the stories in the book Fetish.
Oh yeah. That was an interesting experience writing, because I wrote that one in the middle of a really bad relationship. So sometimes I go back to that one and go, you know what? Maybe that was some fucking weird projection on my part.
The element I always like about Fetish, that story, is like, I'll post a link to this in the description because it was already published on Terror House. But Fetish is about a trophy wife whose husband has a foot fetish and she's disgusted by it, and then she starts suspecting that she's cheating on him with a woman who has better feet. The element there is that she goes completely psychotic, but she doesn't actually get any proof that her husband is cheating.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, this goes back to, I guess, my kind of working philosophy of horror is that I think when you get, like, I respect him, but I also hate him in the sense that, like, Stephen King to me is kind of, he's a traitor to horror because, I'm not saying because I'm like some ideologue, but because he has this bad habit of giving everything away. Like, he always just goes overboard, and he's also got word vomit. He can't write a book that's more than or less than 300 pages, but he gives everything away, whereas I always like the ambiguity. So when I wrote it, I had like, okay, I think I know whether the cheating's true or not, but like, why spoil that? Like, why give that away? And I don't even think that story 2 doesn't overly explain like how she came to the conclusion that it was this person to begin with, other than it was this sort of obsession with feet. Like, it's two people in the
feet, yeah,
who have a weird obsession with feet. So I think the less is explained, and even with that nonfiction I wrote about Alan, I actually did kind of grapple with: do I just come out and say that this guy had a mental illness? I
thought it was obvious.
Yeah, I mean, especially visiting him in a legitimate psych ward was one of the trippiest experiences of my life. Because you hear about these things, but to actually see them and to see how people interact, or honestly, lack of interaction. I mean, I don't know if I put the scene in there, but one of the it was almost like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, because there was just this room where 4 people were sitting around watching a TV, not talking to each other.
How is that any different than anybody's living room spare the
That's
fucking
true.
weed pipe, you know?
That's true, but except usually your average citizen doesn't wear these like sweatbands over their wrists to keep them from like gnawing themselves to death, or I don't know what the fuck. But it was a trip. Like, even though nobody was violent in there, it just had a feeling like anything could pop off at any time. Like, one thing wrong, like if you turn the channel, you might have a riot on your hands. It was crazy. Literally, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for you always, Matt, always saying a good word about Fetish. I actually, to be honest with you, I always thought that was one of my weaker stories. But
I think it's really well put together. I mean, just because, well, maybe the topic matter just kind of appeals to me because, like, I've been surrounded by those kinds of psycho women. So,
well, I was in the midst of dealing one with the time I wrote that. So, yeah.
And the other stuff in there is like, the stuff I hadn't read, like Suffocato Clamoribus. That's a standout piece as well.
Oh God, yeah, that one was a little. This might be too much inside baseball, but that was a total fuck you story because I at the time was trying to make a living as a music journalist and was getting fuck all for money. So that was like my I guess almost like a revenge story against my position in life at that point, which was pretty awful.
Yeah,
music,
I mean,
up there in terms of shitty people. They're up there.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been directly involved in music journalism. Like, music journalism, what the fuck are you supposed to say? Like when you're reviewing a fucking like album or something. Oh, this is good. I like this. That's really all these people are qualified to say. And then they try and gussy it up as like, oh, well, the sonic vibrations on track number 2 are very good, and they touched me in my special place. No, basically, you're just saying a more elaborate version of me liking. Music journalism is a fucking scam. Yeah.
Well, they all want to be. They all have pretensions of glory, and they want to be that guy, Lester Bang, who all of his album reviews are about him. Like, it has nothing to do with the music. It's like, oh, I listened to Van Morrison while fucking my girlfriend. So yeah, so he's talking about astral weeks and boning his girlfriend. That's really nothing to do with the music. It's like I've met so many people who got into journalism who their goal is to be Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to be Lester Bangs, so they want to be Robert Christgau.
Oh, that asshole!
Anybody...
I hate that guy based on the principle that he always gives metal albums like no stars or an F. I just hate him on principle because of that.
Anybody who goes into fucking anything thinking they're gonna be something is a piece of shit. What you should do if you go into a thing, right? Like everybody was like, oh, maybe I'll get into this and I'll do comedy and like I'll be good or whatever. No. You get over that and you go, oh, I'm shitty. That's fine. I want to keep doing it because it's enjoyable. Anybody who goes out there to try to do anything other than just hard nose to the grindstone, make fucking money, you're a dickhead. You're a dickhead. Your art is not worth shit. Nobody's art is worth shit. Now, the problem with journalists is they're writers who are like, oh, there's a huge industry here. What's the industry in? Oh, apparently my opinions about how bad this is or good that is. See, this is why you got to take all the journalists and demote them into being painters. And then we can see what's on their soul or whatever. So the modern artists can come and tell them they're good. But it won't matter. They'll still make the same amount of money. And we will never have to hear about them. I want to see a Brian Stelter original. I want to see that guy get into like clay.
Ew. It's knowing that guy or knowing me. It's going to be a portrait of himself naked. I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Oh, dude, I would fucking totally get a fucking Brian Stelter nude statue. That'd be hilarious.
Just layers and layers of butter and cheese underneath.
Yeah.
Pale, flabby exterior. It's just, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're definitely, the journalist crowd is, they're the delusions of grandeur with that they consider what they do art is just.
Well, the problem is the journalist class is like a thing. They're right in there with like government shit. Nobody really cares about artists. Like, I mean, the Democrats run off and they go like Hollywood, please, sing a song for us. And they go, sweet, we're attention whores. But nobody, normal people, nobody, as much as anybody on Twitter or whatever wants to say, nobody's really swayed by that. Nobody is ever like, well, Will Smith is voting for Joe Biden. No one's ever said that. That's not ever happened. It's just a thing they do because they're attention whores. It's a way to pump up their rallies and things like that, because they do concerts of that shit. You remember who did Bloomberg have? He had Juvenile or whatever. That shit was awesome. I would have gone to a Bloomberg rally.
I thought he had fucking John Mellencamp. That was the guy that did his ads on TV was John Mellencamp. So he got that good, like, Indiana loser.
Bernie Sanders had Vampire Weekend at one point.
Jesus.
Dude, Bernie Sanders had Killer Mike hanging out with him all the fucking time. All right? Like, that's just, it's campaigning. That's fine. That's what they're used for. They're a piece of the media that's just, you just tap the artist or whatever for that.
I was at the Sanders rally in Manhattan where Vampire Weekend performed.
I mean,
by the way, I hate Vampire Weekend.
I was just about to say they're okay. Yeah, you live in Vampire Weekend. Every weekend's a Vampire Weekend for you.
Well, so basically what we can all agree upon is that politicians should have only me accounts. I think that would or journalists. Maybe that should be here. Yeah, only fans. Sorry. I just said the logical thing, only me, considering how narcissistic it has to be.
Freudian slip there.
That's true. Yeah, I'm guilty of a lot of those. I also smoke cigars and pretend to be Austrian from time to time.
Okay, you smoke cigars. Okay, seriously, we got to wrap the show up. But, like, Ben, you and I got to be fucking buds. You smoke cigars. You fucking hate writers and art and fucking grew up in West. Okay, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, you're my type of fucking guy. You seem awesome. I fucking smoke cigars and all of that shit.
Fuck yeah, my dad's a cigar aficionado subscriber, so he got me hooked on that shit. I'll definitely have to find my way to Cincinnati one day, and we'll smoke some stogies.
Hell fucking yeah, dude. Except I'm moving to Florida soon. I'm done with this shit. Midwest is fucking gay. I'm going to go get a boat, and I'm going to hit golf balls into the ocean.
So you're going, like, South Florida, I'm assuming.
No, I don't want to say where. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but yeah. No, I'm just going to get a boat and hit golf balls into the fucking ocean. And then, like, I wear Hawaiian shirts a lot, so, like, that'll be good. And smoke cigars. And then just listen to Rush Limbaugh and in general. Well, he's going to die of cancer. That'll be pretty funny, but I'll be sad.
Yeah, I mean, definitely living the Magnum PI dream. I think I can definitely spend some time in Florida and do that.
Fuck yes.
Bryden, you will truly earn the 30-year-old boomer label.
Well, I mean, I fucking am. The problem is I'm 32. Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm 32 too. Well, look at that. What a weird coincidence.
There you go. Listen, is your mom a whore by any chance?
According to my dad, maybe, but she no, she actually is not a whore.
My mom's not a whore either, but still a woman, so she'll never hear this, so it's fine. Yeah, if she does, I'll just call her a whore. I go, I'm not coming to Christmas. So.
Hey, Mom, you're a whore. Yeah, I think that would definitely ruin. Hey, Mom, here's a Peloton. By the way, you're a whore.
No, you think I buy them presents?
Speak for yourselves. I love my mother.
I love your mother too, and she is a whore. That's why I love her.
I love my mom. I think it's Bryden who's got the interesting experience there.
What, with Matt's mom? Yeah, it's more than interesting. Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
What a lady. Whew. I wasn't a man until I met Matt's mom.
I can't even interplay with that. That like my face just gets contorted.
Yeah, so is your mom's.
I was recording there for a second too. Holy shit! I've never heard someone breathe so hard.
You know the fucking Arrested Development episode where Job is forced to watch his parents fucking. That's how I feel.
Yeah. All right, we're there. We're here.
All right.
Okay, let's wrap
3
it up.
hours. This is the longest one we've ever fucking done.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
we're trailblazing here. I enjoy that.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. There's one last question I wanted to ask you,
Sure.
Ben. What's next in terms of your writing projects? Terror House is going to be publishing some more of your books, but anything else that you haven't revealed to the world yet?
I've during this whole spiel, I've been working on some new short stories. I finished a few that maybe different veins of the genres I've been normally working with. And the next thing up for me is I'm working on my first full-length novel, and hopefully that'll come out soon. I won't give away everything, but it involves a murder and people obsessed with Bigfoot. So hopefully that's up people's alley. Bigfoot murders.
I like it. I'm on board. Also, I was
Sounds
just thinking,
cool.
how about
Yeah.
a guy in a Wuhan lab, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm working on my first full-length novel coronavirus." Huh?
Oh, there you go.
Zing.
Zing, yeah.
Because it was made in a lab.
Spliced with AIDS.
Yeah, because it was made in a lab that was actually given U.S. government grants.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
America. Fuck yeah.
America.
Fighting viruses that ruin its day. Yeah.
It should be America funding all of our enemies because we need perpetual wars. Fuck yeah. I'm actually on board with wars. We need a war. Pick a country. I don't care. Throw a fucking one on a map. I don't give a shit. Albania would be good. Let's go to war with Albania.
That's right. Let's pull a Mussolini and just occupy it for shits and giggles.
I think it'd be funny. We ought to occupy. We need to take care of Venezuela, dude. Let's just fucking go down there. I'm done.
Get
with
that Earl. Get that Earl, boys.
I am fucking done with that Venezuela shit. Fuck that. So I guess it's my turn to do any plug things. I don't have anything. You can go DLive, and I'm over there. You can just search Bryden. It's pretty good. And other than that, you are gonna have to go back to work. And you should be happy about it because, listen, those Democrats are not going to pass that $2,000 a month bullshit where you get $2,000 for. What do you think would happen? Do you think that the people you get the Grubhub from are going to keep coming? They're going to quit. What's the point of that? I don't care about your grandmother. I don't care about. I love my grandmother, but she's old as shit, and it's time for her to go. So, look. You're going to get the virus. You're not going to die. Everybody's going to go, oh, fucking Bryden's an asshole. And then you're going to forget that I said a thing. Especially, you know what's going to happen is when there's flare-ups again, because there will be a big second wave. They're getting paid more through Medicare at these hospitals to do, oh yeah, well, you had a heart condition, but it's a fucking COVID-19 case. So yeah, the numbers are bullshit. You are gonna get it. You're not gonna die. And the antibody tests are going to be fucking hilarious. You're going to be like, I already had it. Now I'm worried about this and that. It's like, maybe stop smoking cigarettes. That's why you have lung problems, is because of the cigarettes. So, or the vaping. It's probably not good for you. We don't have enough. Nobody's been vaping long enough for us to know. It's just stop trusting fucking government officials and goddamn scientists. If you believe the same thing these fucking scientists say, then you might as well say you believe in climate change. All right, because it's the same fucking crap. And I've been saying that since the start, is you're going to get it. You're not going to die. You're going to be fine. But everybody will forget about it. So that's fine.
You might as well say you believe in the fucking round earth, you spear cucks.
No, I mean, although apparently I've been reading about Agartha or whatever Sharia's mad about. That shit's funny. You shouldn't really believe in that shit, but you should tell Sharia you believe in it because he gets really, I don't know, he's upset about it.
No, the only thing you should believe in is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay.
And Terror House.
Yeah, it's probably the second one is more tangible.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Just
but
barely,
anyway,
and just barely. I mean, I'm saying just barely. It exists just as much as you believe in it. Terror House, it's Terror House is Santa Claus. It exists as much as you believe in it.
You are so going to burn in hell for all eternity.
Okay, great with your fucking slave morality, nerd. I'm gonna be over here.
How?
Yeah, have fun. I'm gonna be over here losing all of my fucking money on weird cryptos. That's fine.
Okay. But yeah, I think this train has sputtered to the very final station on the line. Just a reminder, everyone: "Sick Inside the Citadel" by Benjamin Welton.
Wait! Before you do that, I got a train joke that I wrote.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know that all trains are juggalos? Whoop whoop.
That is so corny.
I liked it.
But yeah. "Sick Inside the Citadel" by Benjamin Welton is coming out this Friday, April 24th. Go to terrorhousepress.com. We will be updating you. You will, if you're subscribed to the newsletter, you'll get a discount code to pre-order it for less money. Go subscribe to that at terrorhousepress.com or click the link. Ben, is there anything you want to plug before we close out the show, like website and stuff?
Yeah, just thanks for the book, and I hope everyone goes out and buy it. That's all I really give a shit about plugging at the moment.
Works for me. Brian, anything you want to plug?
Your mom. It's weird. She makes that same noise. I already did my plugs.
Go follow Bryden on DLive and Instagram, and check out his website.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I got a fucking Instagram on Factual Face on Instagram. I made my Instagram again, so that's good. You can see the most disgusting food pics in your life. Yeah, that's good.
Good stuff.
Hurry up, man!
Hurry up! What?
You said you were doing. You're like you're gonna do it. So why don't you figure it out, bud?
I was about to, and then you cut me off.
Figure it out.
Okay, go follow me at mattforney.com. And then there's the Telegram, and then there's my YouTube and DLive. You know all that shit. You know where to find me. And that'll do it for this episode of Terror House Radio. Be sure to check in every day at Terror House Magazine, terrorhousemag.com for our latest publications. Check out our books at Terror House Press at terrorhousepress.com. "Sick Inside the Citadel" by Benjamin Welton, coming this Friday. Follow our social media links in the description, and don't forget that you can always check out past episodes of Terror House Radio at terrorhouseradio.com. Terror House Radio is produced by Bryden Proctor and presented by Jugs. Intro music by Meme Extremist. Illegitimate on Carborundum. Don't want the bastards grinding down. I'm Matt Forney with Bryden Proctor and Benjamin Welton. We are out.